Sileo and Micah Parsons. Not heard that one before. Football Monday. We are here. How you doing? A football Monday, man. Dude, what an absolutely epic weekend. Okay? Epic weekend. College football week 0, I thought was amazing. I thought it was absolutely amazing week 0. Sitting around watching college football, I'm sitting in my lazy chair the entire time, and I just absolutely love that I got to sit back and watch college football all weekend. And then we saw some of the news that was shaking out with the Eagles over the weekend. And folks, we are here. Tuesday will be the setting of the roster, and we'll be setting of the 53-man roster. Eagles make a ton of trades. Okay? A ton of trade. I thought you had a loaded roster. Holy shit. Wait a minute. A loaded roster. We're going to get into that here in a minute. Super chats go to the top. And also, please hit that like button. We appreciate you. Howard Eskin will be with us at 5:30. Looks like this is going to be a regular. By the way, little programming note. On Tuesday at 3 o'clock, the head football coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers, Todd Bowles, will be with us. And we'll talk a little football with Todd Bowles. That'll be tomorrow for your programming and for you to set that programming. Only the biggest names in the history of sports come here. And tomorrow at 3 p.m., the head football coach of the Bucs will be here, and we will talk with him. Little old Dan gets head coaches and general managers to jump aboard on the program. So we love that. Please hit the like button. We'll get into it here in a second. You guys had your final exhibition game of the week versus the Jets, and a lot of decisions are yet to be made. So let's get into it, right? Eagles make a lot of moves. Eagles acquire Fred Johnson from the Jaguars in exchange for the 2026 7th-round pick. You end up trading Darian Kennard to the Packers for a 2027 6th-rounder. The Eagles get quarterback Sam Howell and a 2026 6th-round pick from the Vikings. You guys send out the 2026 5th-rounder, not an awful pick, and the 2027 7th-rounder to the Vikings. Okay? The Sam Howell deal, whether Tanner McKee was hurt or not, which it's not serious, according to Ian Rappaport, was going to happen anyway. Now, what does that say about Tanner? We'll talk about all the deals here in a minute, and we'll give you our takeaways on it. But obviously, this is not a packed 2025 Eagle roster. This is what you've done in 3 weeks. You traded for a quarterback. You traded for a receiver. You traded for what else have you traded for? A corner. I mean, you traded for an offensive tackle. I told you in the offseason, the entire offseason, you're not replacing these players. You still haven't figured out who's going to play corner for you or really safety yet for you. And your rotation pieces at edge are still yet to be, in my opinion, kind of figured out yet. You're assuming Jalix Hunt's going to be a great player. You're assuming that. There's no indication he's going to be. That's an assumption. Jalen Carter's a great player. Okay? Seals, me personally, I would trade A.J. Brown if the compensation is good. When we traded Wentz, these players in return, DeJean, Smitty, Brown, Carter, yes, those guys all panned out to be really good players. Absolutely. Absolutely true. You're not trading A.J. Brown, though. That's admitting full-heartedly that your roster sucked. I said this before. You do not have a loaded fucking roster. This is not a loaded roster. You know what you have? You have a great 22. Say it with me. You have a great 22. You don't have a great roster. You have a sensational 22. Your first line guys, and then after 25, probably, it falls off the planet. Your depth on this football team is not very good. You know how you know that? Howie is making moves, and he's going to continue to make moves. You're not as deep as you were a year ago. You do not have the depth. It was so bad, he had to go back and admit he was wrong on letting Fred go. Get this. Now people see this guy here, Jack. He's like, no shit, Sherlock. Really? That's not what you fuckers were telling me the entire offseason. I asked you a question, and I put a topic out there and said this. Do you think Howie was looking at the 2026-27 season? Almost every single person in here said this. No, we are going back to back. Now you're fucking moving the change. You're lying, and I'm holding you accountable. Again, we are dead on that you are never replacing these players. You're replacing Milton and Josh. That Gardner Johnson deal, now that you've cut Kenyon Green today, is a pathetic deal. It is a pathetic deal. How many people agree the CJ Gardner trade now is dog shit and how he made a mistake? Sills, all the offensive trades, Sills, that beer can might have done devastating damage to the general manager. Does this guy not know we got a guy named Coochie at edge? Absolutely, dude. Get this. You tell me. How do you look at that Gardner Johnson trade now? Let me hear you guys say it now in the Gardner Johnson trade. You got two suspect safeties now, and you had a guy who had 12 turnovers in 2 years and helped you get to 2 Super Bowls. And you still can't really come to grips why you got rid of Gardner Johnson. Why? Because he's an asshole? Dude, the Gardner Johnson trade, now that you cut Kenyon Green, is stupid. Bad move, Howie. Say it with me. Howie made a bad move. A salary dump? Well, then you don't give a shit about 25. Get this. What did he say? Salary dump. Look at what this guy's admitting. Then Howie did a salary dump worrying about 26 and not 27. Yeah, where's his contract? Oh, I'm still waiting. Move the fucking chains again. Yeah, all right. He ain't that hot. He's okay. Okay? How about this? Ask yourself. That Gardner Johnson deal was terrible. It even makes it look stupider. Hey, Jack, watch this. You want to see a complete asshole that this doesn't have rhyme or reason? Hey, Jack, you think that Gardner Johnson trade was a good trade? Yes or no? Do you think that was a good trade? Yes or no? What's Jack's answer? Okay, Hugh, yeah. Are you sure he's playing? Get this, Makuba will be a huge upgrade over Gardner Johnson. Where are you getting that from? Where are you getting that? The guy can't stay healthy. You've got to be kidding. So wait a minute. Howie didn't retool the team, and he made shitty trades. You tell me how this is an indictment on the 90-man roster. It's not as good as you think. All super chats go to the top. We appreciate all. Thank you. Please hit the like button. Hey, it's an indictment. How many trades have you made in 3 weeks? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Where are you getting that you guys have had a great offseason? But Sills, we have Stoutland University. The Sills, these poop butts look dumb as... Dude, they look stupid. Every single topic that we brought up is now rearing its head. So here, let me ask you something. Do you really believe that Howie and Nick and all those guys feel even comfortable with Tanner McKee as the backup. You went and got Sam Howell no matter what. And remember something. He's the emergency quarterback. He still has to be, according to NFLPA rules, on the 53-man roster. So you're going to carry 3 quarterbacks. Really? You're going to carry 3 QBs. Why? Are you worried about the quarterback in his health? I mean, why are you carrying 3 quarterbacks active? Help me out on that. Especially when you need help. Hey, quarterback factory, you drafted a guy who blows out loud in Kyle McCord. He's terrible. What are you talking about? Okay? At the end of the day, what are you talking about? The Eagles do not have a loaded roster. You have a great 22. That's all you have right now. By the way, some go like this. Well, Sills, isn't this a league-wide thing? There's only one defending champion. Your roster compared to the Jets roster, is that what you're comparing? Is that what you're comparing it to? Well, the Jets lost a lot of people, so it happens to everybody. You were under the assumption, and you get this, here's the problem. You gave Howie the benefit of the doubt after the Super Bowl that he was going to retool the team. And he's not. He has not retooled that team. He has not. And I'll say it again. You took a blowtorch to your defense. Now it's playing itself out. If you're under the assumption that Roseman, when Tuesday comes, he's not going to make a move and see some people that are going to be cut. If you're under that impression, he's going to bring another edge in. He's probably going to bring another corner in. And I wouldn't be shocked if he brings another safety in. That'll be a complete indictment on what you did or didn't do in the offseason. Case closed. There's no other way to look at it. There's just no other way. You can make yourself seem. Now, look, one more time. Your front 22 are great. 25. I'll give you 25 great players on that team. Very good to great. Okay. Last year, here, let me say this to you. Every guy you got rid of on defense would be starting, right? Sweat, Milton, Isaiah, and CJ. Oren would be starting week 1, and you got rid of them all. All those players would be starting. Green couldn't be fixed because he was never healthy. Still a shit trade. He did say this year would be different. Yes. Good dude. The only people that are delusional, bigger than Sil, the only people that are delusional are the fans. They're the same moves Howie did in 23, and everyone kept chanting 10-1. Right. That's exactly correct. Guys, thanks for all the supers. I appreciate it. Don't ever think, again, folks, I'm not telling you you don't have a good football team. I'm telling you all the things I said in the offseason are true. Because Howie's moves are proving it. We're going to get to the trades here in a second, my takeaways from them. Then we'll talk about the 53. Your depth at offensive line is not very good. So much so, I mean, they had to go get the guy for a swing tackle because they couldn't find a guy. You couldn't fix Kenyon Green, and you couldn't find a guy in your own stable. John McMullen's been telling me they got 11 ready-made offensive linemen. That can't be true because you just went back and got a guy you had on the team a year ago. That's not true. Or they would have stayed with the people they had on contract and in the roster. So let me get this right. You work 8 months with players and then you decide, fuck it. 10 days before the start of the season, we're going to go make moves. The Gardner Johnson deal is turning out to be a train wreck. the Slay move a train wreck. You still don't have that figured out. You still don't have it figured out. Think about that. You're sitting here and you're trying to fucking tell me that, hey, get this. When you sit here and are telling me that you're still fighting and still talking about a job being opened, who's playing safety and corner right now? Do you know? What am I making up? You don't know who's playing corner and safety right now. And you took a blowtorch to your defense. There's nothing made up. Here, a quarterback, offensive tackle, a corner, a receiver, all four positions that you moved on, you just made a move in the last 3 weeks. All these have been trades. I thought you were loaded. You're not loaded. You work 8 months on those guys, and with those men, it's an indictment on your 90-man rosters. Get this. This is irrelevant because he don't want to hear it. That's fine. No problem, senor. Those people right there are fucking liars. You didn't upgrade Slay. You don't even have Slay's replacement. You don't have CJ's replacement. I'm not sure you have Josh Sweat's replacement. You clearly right now don't have Nakobe Dean's replacement. And you didn't have a swing tackle in your building, so you went and traded for one. That's not made up. That's fact. Those are all facts. That's not made up. Get this. Here, let's go down the list. Whoever plays corner, who's on the roster right now, do you think it'll be an upgrade on Slay? Let's see how many people in here lie. Okay? Let's see how many people in here lie. How many people believe that you have the upgrade at corner? Just answer the question. Folks, do me a favor. Stop talking about me. This is a sports talk show about the Eagles. Keep focused. Okay? Yeah, that's what I do. Okay, Leon, are you upgraded with anybody on your roster from Slay and Isaiah Rodgers? Yes or no? It's a downgrade. Okay? You tell me. Then we'll go down the list and we'll see if Senor's right. I made it up. You tell me. Cornerback. Isaiah and Slay, are you upgraded? Get this. This guy says this because he doesn't want to answer. Don't know. Keely Ringo was told by you that he was going to be an all-pro. Okay? So no. How many people believe that injury-prone Makuba and I can't tackle Sidney Brown is an upgrade to Gardner Johnson? Yes or no? And by the way, that deal, like I just said, is pathetic now that you cut Kenyon Green. You let go of a player for nothing. Or wait, like RC3 says, for 2027 and 26. Okay? No. Let's see. Do you really believe that Jalix Hunt is an upgrade to Josh Sweat? What's how many people in here will say yes? How many people will say that a guy who's never really played, but how is that an upgrade? Okay, so watch this. If we go by Chris, no, not yet. Chris, In your opinion, then, you're more talking about 26 and 27. Okay? Vaughn, then we're talking about 26 and 27. I know that. I know that. Ringo sucks, Pumper special needs, and Howie says hold his beer. How about this one? How many people believe that Jahad Campbell is going to play in that Cowboy game and he'll be an upgrade to Nakobe Dean in his first NFL start? How many people believe that? How many people believe that? That a guy's never played. Okay. So, Trey, why is it an upgrade? Based on what? Steve, based on what? Based on what? And whatever you answer, I'll go, okay. Based on what? Whatever you say, Steve. Based on what? No, I'm not. Why is Jahad Campbell an upgrade from Dean's 130 tackles? Based on what? I feel, based on what? That you think Jahad Campbell is an upgrade to Dean's 130 tackles. Tell me, based on his blue chipness? What's that? What the fuck is that? Based on his blue chipness. What in God's name are you doing? Okay, it's an unknown. Well, then how can it be an upgrade? And I agree with you. It's an unknown. That guy had 130 tackles a year ago. You're damn right it's an unknown. So it's an assumption. You're assuming, like you did every other position, that it's an assumption. Is that right? Okay? He's tall, can see the whole field. Is what you're basing it on? And not his play. Okay? He's tall. I'm with you. Unknown. Unknown. Sills, those players are not upgrades. That does not mean the results can't be similar by the end of the season. These moves can't be truly judged until week 8. Okay? Or by the end of the year or next year. That's my point. You just made my fucking point, Bob. To sit here and tell me days out from the start that you're going to do it is fucking ridiculous. It's ridiculous. So let me look at the trades. I mean, obviously, you're not happy with your 90-man roster. He's big and dominates from the top. How do you know that? Because he was in scrimmages? I saw him in that Browns game get destroyed. The Browns, with their Dylan Gabriel, 13 quarterback, scored on 7 of 7 possessions to start the game. He had a flash play. The Browns dominated him. What were you looking at? Sills, are you warming us up for another? No. It's no. Not yet. Hey, I don't really know how this is going to play out yet. Because you know what? At the end of the day, This could end up just like somebody said here a couple minutes ago. You could suck out loud in the first 7 games and to be playing like a really good unit by the end of the year. I missed the Super, Xander. If I could get it, please, I appreciate it. The one after Devin. Guys, hit the like button, please. The Supers guys are so awesome. Thank you very much. Okay? I mean, yeah. Campbell has to reach his potential to be considered an upgrade, unproven till then. I'm all in on that. Hey, do I think he will be? Yeah. Yes. You know what, RC3? The Buccaneers are going to put the head football coach on for us tomorrow at 3. The Eagles are afraid. And the Bucs got me fired when I was in Tampa. And now we've mended our fences. That's the kind of person I am. So tomorrow, Todd Bowles, who's put great game plans together for the games versus the Eagles, will be on the program tomorrow at 3 o'clock. How you doing? If CB2 doesn't pan out, do you think Howie would make a move for J.C. Horn or Christian Gonzalez? Man, they're not giving Christian Gonzalez up unless it's high equity. Just like that Trayvon Walker stuff that you guys are talking about. Bro, you're going to have to give a 1 up for that. He's the number 1 overall pick, and he hasn't been horrible. That guy has not been horrible in Jacksonville. He's had a really pretty good start to his career. He's not terrible. Is he the number 1 pick? No. But is he a first rounder? Yeah. That guy's not horrible. He's a good football player. Hey, Dingus, we ain't upgrading what ain't broken. I'm not even going to comment on that. It's a dumb take. This guy has practice squad players in those positions right now. So there's no debating it. Okay? And anytime you see people go to that where they have to be personally insulting like that, I've won. I don't really need to debate it any longer. Because you have nothing. There's nowhere on defense. You've upgraded any position at the end of the day. The climb to the top, you're not deep like that. Xander had a guy on last week that said you're the deepest team in the league. Really? That's fucking funny when you're making a trade for positions all over the board. Love it today, Sills. How you doing? How you doing, Maniac? Sills, ask your boy Highsmith about Kenyon White. Is that the kid from Georgia Tech? Heard he's available after he passed up. Is that the kid from Georgia Tech? Is that him? Okay. Is that the guy? I believe that's the guy from Georgia Tech. Sills, I made your point because we agree. Okay, Bob, I got you. In the past, Howie's acted. This season, Howie be reacting to the results of his moves. Right. He did nothing this offseason that ensured that he upgraded the 2025 team. He downgraded. And what he did was he snow jobbed all of you thinking that he rebuilt a great roster when look at the fucking moves. He doesn't like his depth. And you're still in the position you were 10 days ago. Really, get this. You're still in the position you were at the beginning of training camp. The only thing that got solidified was what? Moro Ajomo looks like a replacement. That's it. You've got theory on Jahad Campbell, and the rest of it is not upgrades. How are you going to have a top 10 defense when you have no answers for any of those replacements? None. Vic Fangio. Well, Vic obviously couldn't figure and fix Keely. Hey, let me ask you this. How come Vic couldn't fix Keely? Anybody? How come Vic couldn't fix Keely? What happened there? Help me out. Help me out here. How come Vic Fangio Chris Fowler just text me. Would you guys like to have Chris Fowler on? Voice of ESPN. Would you guys like to have Chris Fowler? What do you think? Can we do you? I don't know, because you guys aren't really that much in college. I may have to put him on the Tampa show. Okay? Would you like to have Chris Fowler? Tomorrow, by the way, like I said, Todd Bowles, the head football coach of the Bucs, is on at 3. Okay? Sills, everything is considered an unknown. We have no idea until week 8, like the other guys said. How about week 1? Who's starting? Okay? An even better question would be, why couldn't Christian Parker fix Keeley? Okay. Look at the guys he's developed. Keeley's just ass and cheeks, plain and simple. I don't really see anything yet out of Sydney, but we have to get Sydney in ball games. We have to get Sydney in games. But I don't see him once he's in a game. I don't see him still improving as a tackler. I don't see it. Vic is a good coach. He doesn't work miracles. This defense will obviously take a step back. I think so too. The question is, will it be good enough? That's really it. This defense is going to take a fucking step back. How big a step? 3 positions? 7? 10? 12? Remember, you went from 2 to 28, from 22 to 23. In a matter of a year, you went from 2 to 28th, right? Hey, guess what? I think your offseason's hilarious. And you bought into that bullshit. And then the coaches and the fucking organization is making moves in front of your face. And you know what you got to say? The Philadelphia Eagle fans are sitting there still denying what the team's doing. You're still in denial. You won't recognize they're looking for good players past 25. You still refuse to believe it. Here, let me get to these trades. What'd you make, 3 yesterday? Or over the weekend? Wow, sounds like you're loaded. Here, so let's go here. The Fred Johnson deal. It's a great deal. So you worked from April and in the offseason in OTAs in minicamp, training camp, and you couldn't find a swing tackle. You had to go make a trade to bring Fred back. You don't have viable O-linemen in that building. I thought Stoutland was a miracle worker. You know what? That's a Jeff Stoutland move. We don't have the guy in the building. Jeff went to Howie and said, we don't have that guy. Get this. Am I wrong? I never said I don't like Fred. I do. I think Fred is a really, really good player. Now you got to remember something. Fred's got a role. What is that? He's a backup. Dude, every championship team has a role for one player and his skill set. Isaiah had a role. Burks had a role. Fred had a role. Nobody said he's a frontline starter. Nobody said that guy is a great football player. You bet this is a really good move. It's a surrender move, though, because you worked 8 months and you couldn't find a guy with all those dudes that I was told you're so deep at O-line. Even Jeff Stoutland said, no, we don't have the guy in the building. We have to go get our guy back. They went and got a comfort zone player. And they put him in his familiar role. That's not bad, but it's an indictment on the people you had in your building. Okay? They were so bad that you had to come up with a trade for a guy making minimum wage at $1.3 million with the Jaguars and send draft picks to the guy because you're wrong in your assessment of your offensive tackles when it comes to a swing tackle, and you couldn't find it. Even Stoutland couldn't put that together. That's a fact. Hold on. Get this. You see what this guy just said? So fucking what? So let's put this in perspective. When Mulata went down for 4 games and Lane went down for 2, how important was Fred Johnson, Kenzo, a year ago when he stepped into those roles and there was no drop-off? What a fucking dumbass take. So fucking what? You don't have Fred Johnson on your team a year ago filling that role that he had. Your quarterback's getting killed. Okay? Well, if this guy was going to get cut, ask yourself this, dickbag. Why didn't Howie wait until Tuesday, sign him Wednesday, and not have to give up draft picks? Help me out on that. Help me out on that. If they were going to cut him, why didn't they just wait a day? They could wait until tomorrow. Use your brain. Why didn't they just wait? It's only 12 hours. They didn't cut him. They traded for him. And because he's a veteran, he doesn't have to go through the waiver fucking wire. You're making lies up. Why didn't you just wait? Fred doesn't have to wait. Okay. Fred Johnson is a 7-year fucking player. He doesn't have to wait the waiver wire, douchebags. He doesn't have to. So you tell me, if they were going to cut him, why didn't Howie just wait until 5 o'clock Tuesday to sign him? Lost in the waiver wire. This guy doesn't know what he's talking about, as usual. As usual. How dumb are you? It's a good move. I like the trade. It's funny is, and you hear people in Philly going, well, they would have cut him anyway. Okay. You still gave up 2 draft picks for a guy who was going to be cut 12 hours from now, and you couldn't wait. So fuck it. Let's give the Jags 2 draft picks. You can't be fucking dumber. The pick for Sam Howell. What'd you give up? You had to give a 6th-rounder, and you got in exchange, you got a 5 and what? A 2027 pick. A 7th-rounder from the Vikings, right? Or no, the Vikings got a 5 and a 7. You end up getting a 6 in Sam Howell. I wonder what you feel like when you think that if Jalen Hurts, who's missed 6 games in the last, how many games has Hurts missed in his 4 years starting? 6? I know he missed some at 22. He didn't miss any at 23. And he missed, 2.5? So, and I'm sure he'll get healthier. Okay. Oh, by the way, so on the top 100 NFL players, Hurts goes from 15 to 19, and the Eagles post that. I'm like, okay. He goes from 15th to 19th. Gee. All right. I guess. 15th to 19th. That don't sound like a guy who is sending. That's what the players voted him? They downgraded him? Okay. Yeah, that's not a media thing. That's the players voted him 19th. Year previous, he was 15th, coming off that 22 year. All right. He went down 4 spots? Sure. Okay. I guess so. And everyone's like, well, he's 19th best player. I'm like, that's funny. He dropped 4 spots, and they won the Super Bowl. Okay, I know the thing is done in December of a year ago. That survey's done, so they didn't count the postseason. They were looking at his wonderful regular season, and they downgraded him. Okay? Hey, all right. Hit the like button. Super chats go to the top. So overall, what do I make of these moves? They strengthened their quarterback room in case of disaster. They traded also Kennard to the Packers for a 2027 6-rounder. Sure, okay. He probably wasn't going to make the ball team anyway, even though they just cut Kenyon Green. And you brought back Fred Johnson. So that Kennard deal, sending him to Green Bay, made room for Fred. Okay. I would look at these deals as this. Well, obviously, here's the outcome. Obviously, you didn't think you were good enough on your roster to find an offensive tackle that could be a swing tackle. I even asked Xander this. I asked Xander this question last week. Who's the swing tackle? Who's the swing tackle? Well, now we know. They had to go outside the building to get him. Okay? They had to go outside the building to get the guy. Fred's now your swing tackle. 8 months of work with those other guys. You came to the conclusion over the weekend that you don't have good enough people. Okay. The Sam Howell deal. I saw Sam Howell. Hey, do me a favor, Kyle. When he was the starter, when he was a starter for the Washington Redskins, I think it was 2023. In the 2 games combined, did Sam Howell throw for 800 yards versus the Eagles? Or was it like 750 yards versus the Eagles in those 2 games that he started? Sam Howell. Not that that defense was very good. I'm trying to make a point here. It was like 700 yards, right? That he threw for. I like it. I don't mind the deal. Look, I look at Tanner McKee and go, I see a lot of talent. I think the kid's good football talent. I think he's good. But I don't mind having a veteran behind Jalen Hurts. Is this the first time? Okay, see this? I'll take that as a backup. As a second or third team guy, I'm all right with that. Dude, he was on the shitty Commanders who had nothing. That's okay. Dude, and plus you got to remember his roles. Get this. Bro, it's a third-team fucking quarterback. So he'd rather have Kyle McCord. I'll tell you this. Tyler Huntley was just cut by the Browns. You're under the assumption that Shedeur Sanders is better than Tyler Huntley is a joke. I saw Tyler Huntley win ball games in Baltimore. I like the player. Everything I said about Shedeur Sanders is true. Guy holds the ball too long, and he's just okay. Okay? And get this. Kevin Stefanski set him up for failure. Yeah, really. Okay. Dylan Gabriel's better. And I don't think shit of him. But hey, Shedeur Sanders was not treated. Holy shit. Yeah, make it black and white. Kevin Stefanski, a 2-time NFL Coach of the Year, who knows quarterbacks and how to get the best out of them. He went to the playoffs with 6 of them one year. And Joe Flacco being comeback player of the year. But he doesn't know now because why? Because Shedeur Sanders sucks. He's not ready yet. Maybe in a couple years. Now, not near ready. Got to be fucking kidding me. But somehow identity politics plays into that. It's like his kid down in Tampa. That kid punching and throwing hands to the 3rd tight end in Buffalo. And someone said the Bucs set him up for failure. What? You did that because you know you were getting blown out. So you had to be an asshole. I mean, that can't carve your way out in the NFL, man. You got to carve your own way. Sills, the Howe move also allows them to cover the McKee injury. Plus, when a quarterback goes down in the regular season, Philly has a young, talented quarterback. Remember something, though. So with Howe, and you're trading those picks away, you're not cutting him. Your quarterback, he has to be on the active roster. You can't elevate him from the practice squad. He's got to be on the active roster to be the emergency quarterback. Okay? Dude, he sucks. I think both of the Sanders proved in the press on that they have potential. As what? Talk show host? Probably. Not football players. Shiloh Sanders stinks. He was a marginal player that was going to potentially make the practice squad. He had no way of making the 53-man roster. None. Zero. He was not a good player. I don't have sympathy for that. I've been cut before. Sitting here talking about a player that was cut? Fuck that. I don't care. I don't care what your name is. Okay? By the way, we'll talk to Todd Bowles tomorrow. Sanders is Richardson with a weaker arm and can't run. Holds the ball, takes sacks like he did at Colorado. I watched Jackson Dart. I wanted to be, because remember something. Jackson Dart, people were doing this. Giants didn't take Shedeur because Jackson Dart looks like somebody. He looks like somebody. That guy looks like he's good. I'll tell you what. I think the Giants are heading in a better direction than the New York Giants, or the New York Giants are heading in a better direction than the Dallas Cowboys. I mean, I do. Quarterback looks like there's a future there. Their front seven on defense looks good. They got to get better in the O-line. Actually, if you think about it, Joe Schoen has had a good offseason. Now, look, the difference between Howie and Joe Schoen had so many areas to get better and still does. Howie, if one thing doesn't work out for him, it's a domino effect. Let me tell you something. The Keely Ringo and the unsure play of the safety position, too high safety. That's Vic's defense. Okay? The difference between being the Super Bowl team and a good team and an improving team is night and day. Now, do I think the Giants are in like a position to beat Philly? No. No. But they had so many holes, and they still do. They still have a ton to go. The Eagles can only move backwards. They can't go forward. Not because of the money and because, hey, let's do this. Do you agree at least with me on this? The Eagle roster is top heavy. There's 25 really good players on that team. And then the rest of them, you're like the rest of the league. Is that fair? Okay? You have elite 20. Elite 20. Like, great 20. But there's 53. There's 33 guys on that team that are common. There's common players. Sidney Brown is on every roster. He's on every roster. Azeez Ojulari and Joshua Uche are on every roster. Kendall is on every roster. There's nothing special about those men. Here's where you're special. You know, you're special in your starting O-line. That's special. You're special in your DTs. I think, and I'll go here, I think you're special at linebacker. You're special at the corner and the nickel. You're special at wideout. You're special at running back and quarterback. And your upper tier with your tight end. After that, if those guys go down, it's a drop-off. That's why the Eagles made the move for Fred. Okay? But here, this is what this guy's missing. You were special at all those positions a year ago. Your backups were just as special in the role that was given to them. Look, every football team has a role. The greatest teams in sports have roles carved out. Like, one of my favorite teams of all time are the Bulls of Jordan. Why? Rodman had a role, rebound and defense. Pippen had a role where he had to play all the positions. He had to guard. It was Pippen who guarded the toughest defender on them Bulls teams. It was Pippen who was a transition player. It was Pippen who was like an 18-10 guy every night, along with guys like Horace Grant and then Rodman. Every guy had a role, and Jordan was the linchpin. Those are great football teams. The Eagles had role players a year ago. Your role players were so good. Dude, when you can plug in a guy who had 130 tackles and he goes out there and you don't miss a beat, or a guy who stones Trey Hendrickson and plays for Lane Johnson and Jordan Mailata and you don't miss a beat and you're winning ball games, it's fucking unbelievable. I mean, did Kyle McCord just get released? Did the Eagles just release Kyle McCord? Wow. Well, Nick said he played okay. Here. Nick Sirianni on Kyle McCord's play was asked the question, you feel comfortable moving forward? Yes, I do. I feel comfortable with Kyle. What, did he not know that Kyle was going to be cut? Nick said he felt comfortable on Saturday. Now, look, I'm not going to kill Nick for that. Because here, they probably tried trading him. And you got to be respectful of the process. They probably tried trading him. And when they couldn't find a buyer, that's when they released him. So I'm not going to kill anybody, especially during this time right now. Before you get to that witching hour on Tuesday on being cut, you're not going to say anybody on your roster sucks. Because you're first going to see if there's a buyer out there for somebody. And again, That's not a Nick. That's not a negative. Nick was just playing the game. Okay, that's not on Nick. Now, if you're like in the off season and he makes that comment, I'm going to kill him on that, but not on a Saturday after he played on a Friday, and you probably wanted to try to get the kid landed somewhere, and when no one was a taker and you couldn't get any draft picks for him, that's when they probably offered up Minnesota something for Sam Howell. Like they probably tried to put McCord in there. That's why they went with Wentz. Okay, so yeah, he was playing the game. So I'm not going to kill him for that. I'm happy with him. If anything, I think the question, I'm paraphrasing here. If anything happens to Jalen, are you comfortable with Kyle McCord? Yeah. I have to watch the film, but I think he knew right then and there the kid's chances of making the roster weren't very good. Seals, too high requires safeties who are good tacklers. That's correct. Too high with a safety who can't is a big problem. If McWilliams and Bennett can be serviceable, Coop can move to the safety position and it can work. I don't know how and where. Get this. I still don't know where Cooper DeJean's going to land and what they're going to do in base with him. I don't believe they're going to put him out wide. I think they're going to put him in the safety and in the slot. I think Vic feels more comfortable with him in the middle of the field than with him out wide and being on an island. And get this, Q's going to be protected because he's in a zone. And he'll be able to use his makeup speed because he's in zone and he's off the ball. Okay? Let's see here. Dan thinks he's smarter than Fangio. No, I don't. I'm watching your moves. I'm watching. Get this, smarter? I'm commenting on your moves, douchebag. I'm not fucking saying. I'm not telling them what to do. You didn't have a corner. You traded for one. You didn't have a swing tackle. You traded for one. You needed a more experienced backup quarterback. You went and traded for one. Eli Ricks is now cut. Holy shit. All these players you told me were going to be instrumental in the football team's success this year are being whacked. I wouldn't be surprised if Keely Ringo gets cut. To make the team, I'm assuming. You know what I might just do? I might just put McWilliams and Adoree Jackson out there. I feel more comfortable with that than putting Keely Ringo in a game, even against Dak Prescott. I saw Sam Howell eat up James Bradbury, who had a Pro Bowl year. Can you imagine versus a guy like Keely Ringo? Dak? You better get... Okay, hold on here. Trayvon Diggs going to lock up Smitty on September 4th. Hey, Cowboy guy, if I were you, I would shut my fucking mouth after watching that lowlife, Micah Parsons, on the sidelines, sleeping, embarrassing his head coach, his football team, and pouting about his contract is unbecoming of a professional athlete. How in the world are you expected to be, if you are Brian Schottenheimer, to have discipline on your football team when you got a bitch, and I say a bitch, and I mean a bitch, crying on the fucking sidelines about his deal? What an absolute unbecoming look for a fucking NFL player who's moaning and crying because he didn't get his way. That's the guy you're going to give $225 million to? Give me a break. He is the ultimate whiner. You would never see that shit in the history of the Eagles, where a guy would be fucking crying like that, like a bitch. Micah Parsons is the prime example of why the Dallas Cowboys have not won dick in 30 years. End of story. End of story. End of story. I don't want to give my way. Get my bed boy, my binky, my whoopee. Jerry's treating me bad, Dad. Hey, fuck him. I don't care about Brian Schottenheimer. Fuck him. I gotta see Big Bad Jerry. What a bitch. Bro, that shit's soft. Dude, I kicked the shit out of AJ for reading the book on the sidelines. That dude's at least going to get me 1,500 yards. Okay? Holy shit. Micah Parsons is crying on the sidelines, and he's laying down and he's eating a burrito or a taco, whatever it was. And all the rest of the football players on the team were trying to make the team. And you're looking over at your head coach going, really? Brian Schottenheimer has no balls. Cowboy guys like, hey, the Eagles have issues. You have character issues. The Eagles have some position issues because you know why? They're good. They're good. You have issues on your team because, well, you're the Cowboys. Get this. You're right. Who cares? Nobody. And that's why you'll win 7 games. You're right. Eagle fans care. Cowboy fans don't. All they can do is dream and talk about the past. Put glazing documentaries on Netflix together and talk about 35 years ago when it used to be. You're a used to be has-been. The Cowboys are a has-been organization. Now the fans are has-beens. Hey, remember how great we were? No. No, I don't remember how great you were. Fuck, I'm not even sure was Xander alive in 96? The guy who owns my company wasn't even fucking alive. No, I don't remember when you were good. The guy who owns my company wasn't even born. Think about that. The guy who co-hosts Birds 365 wasn't even alive the last time you were good. So those Cowboy players bring a gun to a gunfight, but forget the bullets. Dude, it's more this, Kyle. Cowboy guy brings a knife to a gunfight. Yeah, probably. Ringo would be the third best player on that team. Shit. Kenyon Green's probably going to get signed by the Cowboys. And he's probably going to start in the opener. Dude, it's a different conversation in Philly than it is in Dallas. Okay? Ringo wouldn't start in Dallas. I forgot because you were a top flight pass defensive football team. And your superstar, who's Rip Van Parsons is sleeping on the sidelines, drinking gin and tonic. I mean, he should have just had a gin and tonic on the sidelines and had some finger food. Then went in, or maybe had somebody serve it to him. That dude's a bitch. I'm sick of him. I would never want a dude like that on my football team. He is such a whiner. I didn't get my way. I didn't get my way. I mean, AJ bitches and gets 138 yards that Sunday. You're okay with that. I mean, AJ, by the way, I don't think it's bad to be called AJ Owens. Owens is third best wide receiver in NFL history. You know what I would say about Dak? Dak's not better than Danny White. I mean, he's not better than Danny White. I'm not sure he's better than Craig Morton. Craig Morton got to a Super Bowl. Absolutely. That deal is awful looking now. Micah Parsons. If you're Brian Schottenheimer, you should fucking suspend that guy. But you can't. You know why? You don't have any balls. You don't have any balls. You know what my coach would do to that guy? He'd treat him just like Michael Irvin. Michael Irvin missed a plane flight once. You know what he did? Didn't start him for a half. Put him in. He wasn't going to not play him. He didn't think that was right to the team. The guy was never late again. And let me tell you a little secret. Jimmy had a rule about the bus. If you weren't there on time, which is 30 minutes before, he left your ass. He didn't give a shit who you were. And if you played like shit, you ain't getting fed on the way home. Can't tell you how many times I've been on that plane flight. Hey, we're going to serve the food, coach. No, you're not. I've been on those plane flights. Fuck, it's a 3-hour plane flight. No food. Yeah, you're not eating. Okay, pro and college. That shit, though, he don't fuck around with that. That dude that you saw, okay, on Fox is completely different than the dude I knew. So I think he drinks more Asti Spumante. Check this out. Y'all acting like y'all have a defense. Some on tell Eagle fans, secondary part of the defense. Hold on for a second. Hold on. Texas, boy. My criticism of the Eagle defense has been this. They haven't, get this, folks. Let me show you the difference in what I'm doing to what this guy is not doing. I'm telling you that you haven't replaced high-level talent on your team. Trayvon Diggs is overrated. He's overrated. That's an overrated football player. Papa Bumper always told me, don't trust a brother with bad hair. Michael Parsons is a bum. Dude, does he iron it or something? I don't know. I mean, I don't know. The Cowboy guys are trying to compare their talent to the Eagle guys. The Eagles were so great a year ago. Get this. The last time the Dallas Cowboys had a defense like that you just saw 8 months ago was with Jimmy. Michael Parsons uses a hot butter knife for his. Oh, Oh, man. Hey, wait a minute, David. White dudes wouldn't know what you're talking about. Hey, I'm going to leave that there. I don't think white dudes would know what you're talking about, my friend. 49ers all day. Stop flip-flopping either. You troll, you don't pick a team to troll. Dude, I got to give Texas boy some credit. He comes in here. And he takes his beating like he should. Remember this, Texas boy. You're going to take your beating until you do something. Micah Parsons. What a bitch. I didn't get my way. Even though Jerry offered me $203 million, making me the highest paid non-position football player. But I want more. Hey, it reminds me of that time. Reminds me of that Chris Farley thing on Saturday night. Kid gets hit in the face at the ball game. That's Micah Parsons. You guys ever see that skit that Chris Farley did? He's a kid. He's eating nachos, and he's sitting in the front seats at the Yankee game, and the kid gets hit in the face. Gonna get you some nachos. All right. Eating cotton candy, gets hit in the face with a bat. That's Cowboy guy. Holy shit. That's my boy, Texas boy. Give me my nachos. Give me my nachos. Give me my room where I can lay down my head. Because I didn't get my contract. Jerry's being mean. Big old Jerry. Holy shit. I mean it. Hold on. I got to grab a nut here because I got to remember that I'm a man if I'm Micah Parsons. Good God. Act like a man, dude. You can act like a man. Holy cow. Unbecoming, dude. Micah Parsons had his man card taken. The Dallas Cowboy cheerleaders have more nuts than he does. Man. Seals Parsons' stunt not only hurt him in Dallas, but the other 31 GMs too. That's right. How you bail out. I learned a horrible lesson in my business here. Bitching and screaming on the internet after you've been fired by something is going to only stop you from getting another job. You know the people that constantly do this when they get canned? They go on the internet and they talk shit, and then the next potential employer sees how you handled when you had adversity, and he sees how you handled yourself. He's not going to hire that. He's just not going to hire that. Don't lower yourself to people's bullshit. What another person thinks of you is irrelevant. Hey, we got to move on from you. No problem. I don't have a problem from that. Don't go on social media, though, and start saying, well, these guys did this. Not me, man. No more. I don't do that. Hey, thanks for the shot, man. Appreciate it. All good. I got my own brand to worry about. Give a fuck about what you think. And by the way, most companies make more mistakes in hiring people. Ask Xander this. If he had to do, how many things would he like to have done all over again? A ton? Any company would tell you that. It's all good. First thing Jerry Jones will do right, and the first time in 30 years will be not to allow male cheerleaders on his team. Yeah, I've been watching that. Minnesota Vikings and the New England Patriots, I ain't sure what's up with that. They got dudes all frolicking around, cheering. They're like M. Reyes. I could have swore I saw M. Reyes up in Minnesota with the pom-poms. Oh, either that or up in New England. There was M. Reyes. He could be on the Vikings cheerleading squad. Put him in one of those fancy little outfits. There's M. Reyes. Eagles. Eagles. He looked good in one of them outfits. Oh, green with the eagle thing on it, you know. He'd be jumping around going, E-A-G-L-E-S, Eagles. Go, Keely. Go. Yeah. Fucking that's it. He looked good in that outfit, I think. Hey, I think he'd look great. You know what, too? They'd be throwing him up. You know, he couldn't catch a chick. So they'd have M. Reyes would be the guy they threw up. You know, they threw him up in the air because that guy can't catch anybody. There's old M. Reyes all spread out like he's like the guy in Brazil, like the Jesus in Brazil. He'd be all spread out and shit. He looked good, man. Yeah. I could see M. Reyes in one of them gears. He look all good and shit. It'd be a good role for him, too. Pom-poms and all. How you doing? Yeah. Hey, hit the like button. Hey, can you see M. Reyes? Oh, I'm in my heaven. Look, there's Keely. Ooh. Look, who else is he like? Ooh, Aziza Ujalara. Ooh. What else would M. Reyes do? Oh, my God, Joshua Uchikuchi, I love you. Holy cow, these guys are nobodies. But, hey, we bought them at the Temu store. Eagles have male cheerleaders, just not captains. Oh, yeah, I don't want to see that, man. Okay? No, thank you. Okay? Yeah. You see how M. Reyes, man? They throw him up, catch him on his ass. He does like a triple sow cow or some shit. And he flips over. Go, Keely! Go, Kenyon! Wait, I can't do Kenyon. He just got fired. Who else? Go, Smile! London! Yeah, him. I like him. Yay. He's star. Yeah. Hey, Sydney! Yeah. You're a replacement for Gardner. I don't care what Big Bad Sills thinks. You're a replacement for Gardner. I swear. Don't listen to Sileo. He's just an asshole. Okay. Hey, this just in. Really? Looking like the longest yard out there. Hey, yeah, the cheerleader's in the longest yard. Put a wig on him and shit. He looked great. Yeah. Okay. Oh, my God. Where'd it go tonight? Oh, dude, there's so much to get to. Cowboy guy, you're not still in here, are you? My God almighty. The beating that you took last week and the beating that you must have taken over the weekend. Based on your boy, Micah Parsons. Whew, man. Hey, M. Reyes wears an outfit, but Micah Parsons is a clown. I mean, how do you get my way? Jerry's not giving me my $43 million. Okay. How many people think that guy's... Hey, I'm Reyes. I love you, sweetie. Hey, I'm Reyes. I love you, honey. Don't worry about it, sweetness. You and me, gal. Hey, honey. You and me, gal. We're good. You know that, right? You and me are good, honey. How many people believe that Micah Parsons is going to run through the tunnel September 4th? I don't know why, but I do. I don't know why, but I believe it. How many people think that guy's going to roll? That's a Niner all day. Thank you, bro. That's cool. No way, huh, JH? Jason says no. I'm with him. I'm with M. Reyes. I think Jerry's going to come up. You know what he's going to do? The problem, M. Reyes, though, will be this. That he'll be on limited snaps. You know what I mean? Probably play 30 snaps or such. And so it'll be all theater. Hey, get this. It'll be theater, and then the Eagles will blow him out, and that'll be the story. Right? That'll be the story of the game. You guys destroy him, They'll forget that. And the story will be that Jerry signed him because he can't compete. He cannot compete against the Eagles that night on September 4th. So he's got to make a media splash. Eagles beat him 31-17. They kicked the shit out of him. But here comes Micah. Comes running out of the thing, right? Looks up at the scoreboard. They're down 4 scores. Like Clark Kent takes his fucking cape off, goes out there, plays 5 snaps. Cowboy fans are like, see, if we would have had him, we would have beat Philly. And you're like, no, you could have had 4 of him, and you wouldn't have beat Philly. You could have had 4 of him at every position, and you wouldn't beat Philly. Hey, here are the Cowboy good players. CeeDee Lamb and I guess Micah Parsons. The rest of them, I don't know. Who could start on Philly? Parsons? CeeDee's not beating out A.J. Brown. So I guess he's beating out. No, since he's a 1, you got to go 1-1. He ain't beating out A.J. Cowboys don't have one guy in that huddle that could win a job in Philly. Not one guy. The Cowboys don't have one dude on offense. Maybe Diggs a corner. Jerry will tag him. Dude, Jerry's got him for 3 years. This is the shit that I was telling Xander, what was it, 3 weeks ago? The Cowboys got that guy for 3 years. What's he doing? He's got 1 year remaining on his deal, which is $25 million this year. Then they got 2 fucking tag years. You want to sit out? Have at it. Middle of your prime, you're going to sit out? Dude, Jerry doesn't have to play you. And knowing that guy, he would spite you. He trades you on the 3rd year after you didn't play for 3. Yeah, the best player, Sig's probably right. Their best player's their kicker. Dude, shut the hell up. No one's coming to the link worrying about dumb shit you're talking. Always got the Cowboys wood in your mouth. But don't worry. Talk about you have no real content to talk about. Here's the content. Micah Parsons is a bitch. There, I don't know. I saw it on the sidelines. He's a bitch. You sucked for 30 years. I don't know. Am I wrong? What game have you won in 30 years that people went, wow, you have no You're right. Hey, you're right, 13. You're right. I have no content when it comes to the Cowboys. None. Sills is getting roasted by a guy who follows the Cowboys who haven't been relevant in 30 years. Really? How's that even remotely possible? Roasted by a guy. Talk about content. How about context? Let's have some context. You want context, not content. The Eagles have context. You have nothing like that. So why talk? Because your bitch linebacker was crying and moaning. And they're going to make him the highest paid non-position player. Hey, Dunkoff, 13. Do you know how this works? Micah Parsons is going, let me go slow here, because I know you probably are a special needs guy. So let me help you out here. Micah Parsons is going to be the highest paid non-quarterback in the NFL, National Football League. Okay? So that's the context. Wow. I know. I didn't realize I had to talk so slow to stupid ass fucking Cowboy guys, but I probably do. By the way, what would you know about winning? I mean, what in the world would you know about winning? So you know he's right. Why are you going around it talking about other shit? No, somebody brought something up to me. And then you chimed in about Trayvon Diggs. And then you know what? You're probably right. I just wasted 5 minutes of my life I'll never get back. And when I'm on my deathbed, I'll remember that I was talking to Texas Boy and Blackfinger 13. And I'll remember, God, I wish I had that 5 minutes back. I'm dying on my bed and I was wasting my breath on fucking Cowboy talk. You are so right. God, I've wasted a lot of time of my life. 5 minutes of my life on Trayvon Diggs and Miguel Parsons. That's his new name from now on. It's Mikey Parsons. Wait, I can't do Mikey because Mikey's my boy here. So we got to do Miguel. Miguel Parsons. Oh, man. Lord, forgive me, for I have sinned. I spent 5 minutes talking about the Cowboys. Please forgive me, God. Okay? Father, I've sinned. Thank you. I talked about the Cowboys. Mother Mary, yeah, right. Holy Mary, Mother, forgive me for I've sinned. I take this, all of you, and eat it. This is the body of my Christ. This is the body. And I've got to sit there. I got to remember when I'm sitting there getting confession, when I'm sitting when I'm sitting in front of God, I got to go, yeah, sorry, man. I need another wafer. I talk Cowboys. These Cowboy guys are so ignorant. They don't even realize that the guys who love Jerry Jones, who played for him 30 years ago, can't stand him now. Yeah, because you know why? Jerry got in the way of 5 more titles. Dude, if Michael Parsons had a work ethic, he'd be fabulous. And Michelle Parsons, that makes more sense. Sills, he's Mikey or Mickey, like Mouse Parsons. He's a high-priced rodent. Dude. Hey, Mickey Parsons. Fucking Mickey Parsons. Holy shit. Mickey Parsons. How in the world does Cowboy guy ever have a decent conversation? Okay? Seriously. How in the world? Bro, you're why anal probes are made. Go Cowboys! Go Cowboys. Like where? 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 Go Cowboys where? Yeah. Oh my God. We've been losing for 30 years. You get good at talking BS. Oh my God, that's good. Good for you, Drew. Good for you. That's good. The O shot can't help Sills. Bro. Michael Parsons can't help the Cowboys. What? Here. Texas boy. Milk you up. There's not, I've actually said this to a chick before when I was younger. Prior to my wife. Thank you. She asked me one time, Xander, you'll love this. This chick had everything. Amazing body. Amazing. Everything. I met her when I was playing ball. Wow. And she came up and she goes like this. What do you like about me? And I said, well, there's actually not one redeeming quality about you that I like, but I do like your body. And I'll never, that relationship didn't end well, but I felt I had to be honest. I didn't want to, but I felt I had to be honest. So I said, there's not really one redeeming quality about you that I like, except your body. She's like, what? And I was like, well, I mean, you asked me, I had to be honest with you. She goes, do you love me? I go, sort of. Sort of. Do you love me? Sort of. I mean, if you're a Cowboy fan now, aren't you doing this? How many times can she cheat on you? You know what Cowboy fan is? You see this guy in here, Texas boy? His old lady goes out every offseason, tells him how much she loves him, tells him how much all this and that. Okay? Loves the guy during the offseason. Regular season comes. She's out there cheating away. You're out there having dinner. She's eyeballing some guy at the next table. She's playing footsies with somebody at one of your draft parties. Who do you think we should take? Trayvon Diggs, or do you think we should take CD? And she's playing footsies with a dude named Waldo. And you're sitting over there going, how come, what's going on here? And you just don't know it. The Cowboys cheat on you every day, dude. My dad's a Cowboy fan, so I sent Jehovah's Witness over to his for every Cowboys game. Jehovah's Witness. Nah, man, you need one of them Scientologist people. You know, the guys in the ice cream suits? You get them dudes over there. Cowboy fans, oh, man. That's pretty tough. Listen to this. Calm down before you have a stroke. Take it easy. Dude, I thought you'd have a stroke about 10 years ago, 15 years ago. How many times can old Jerry tell you, we're going to be good? We're going to be good. We're going to be good. Hey, I promise you I won't cheat on you. Hey, I promise you I won't cheat on you. Hey, I promise you I won't cheat on you. Hey, I promise you I won't cheat on you. Hey, I promise. Jesus, criminy guy. She's banged 15 guys when she's telling you she's not going to cheat on you. I don't know. You might want a new partner. Holy cow. The Cowboys. Oh. Dude, I'm here banging on a corner. Excuse me, I'll take that back. I'm here talking about a corner on Philly and a safety and roll pieces to make sure that they're good this year. You know what the Cowboy guys are? Why are you talking so bad about my team? Well, because you suck for 30 years. Yeah, you ever seen those guys over in St. Pete with the ice cream suits, those Scientologist guys? They pass out Bibles and they give you – those guys used to – I got in a lot of trouble when I was on the air in Tampa. I said, yeah, those guys down at St. Pete Beach with the ice cream suits on. They called Clear Channel and iHeart going, Sileo said that. We're ice cream salesmen. And I said, okay, well, I'm a hardcore Catholic and I'm a Roman Catholic. And so, yeah, I mean, you guys look like ice cream salesmen, vanilla or chocolate. I don't know. I like sprinkles on my vanilla cone. I don't think they have sprinkles on their vanilla cones, those Scientologist guys. Seals mad Cowboys cut them 30 years ago. Yeah, that's when you were good. What all this has to do on September 4th? Not a damn thing. Wait, so Micah Parsons acting like a bitch on the sidelines has nothing to do with September 4th? Probably not. Bro, let me hook you up with something. You could sign Micah Parsons to an $800 million contract, and that ain't going to help you September 4th because there's a bulldozer coming. It's going about 10 miles an hour, and it's rolling. And the thing about that bulldozer is it rolls, and everything that gets in its way, they kind of like smash it to smithereens. That's the Eagle O-line. You hear it in the distance. I know Cowboy fans can hear it in the distance. It's getting louder and louder. You'll hear it loud when you come out of the tunnel at Lincoln Financial. All you see is this big bulldozer coming. You know, or one of them, you know, you make the highway, that big cement rock thing is just rolling. And then pretty soon you're just going to go, you're going to get run over by this thing. It really doesn't stop. You could sign him to an $800 million deal. It won't matter. Because they're going to run you the fuck over. Hey, this is the kind of shit I used to talk. This is good. This is the kind of shit I used to talk before we used to annihilate teams when I was in college at UM. Oh, my God. Dude, if I played on that Eagle team right now, I would be they would be very, very I'd be going like this. I can't wait for the Cowboys to come in here and get murdered. Seals, you could tell how irritated you got cowgirls. Why would they be irritated? I mean, dude, seriously. September's their time of the month. It's early in the month, from what I understand. They're going to be angry anyway. Y'all better win. The way y'all talking. I'm not an Eagle fan. I just know when imminent doom's coming. It's coming. Texas boy. You know, like one of them tornadoes that go up Tornado Alley, up 45, right through Austin, goes right up there through Richardson, right? Comes over there on the Stemmons. You get right down into Dallas, and that bitch just runs you right over near the airport. DFW, right there, right? The Metroplex. That tornado just keeps coming. That's right. That's what you got coming, bro. Bro, even I know that. Now, the Eagles will have a game. Kansas City, the Rams, the Bucks, and Denver. You know what you are? You're Temple. Yeah. The Cowboys are like Temple. It'd be like Temple playing Texas. I give you $500 if y'all know where I'm from in Texas. Let me guess. You're from, I know where you're from. Let's see. A guy like you? A guy like you in Texas? I got to think of someplace. Now, you're probably up there in the hat somewhere. You're probably up there in the hat. You ain't nowhere because you ain't from Dallas. Dallas people got some balls. Lane going to give Dallas the full Johnson. Hey, woo! Hold on. Here's Cowboy fan after Lane gets a hold of Mikey. Watch my face. Ow! Ow! What's that? What am I sitting on? Yeah, that's Lane's boot. Yeah. As a fellow Texan, it's 135. Oh, man. So you got to go through Denton. You come over that shitty hill there in Denton. That's where you're from. I know where you're from, boss. And then you jump out then you get on the Stemmons. Then you go into a real town, right? Let me guess, Fort Worth or Arlington. All right. Enough with, hey, I just wasted 30 minutes of my life again. A shitty Cowboy guy. Let me get to a real team. Oh, but wait. Off season. Big Sills has been fucking spot on. Spot on. So let me see how many moves you've made. Quarterback. OT. I thought you guys had all this. Xander had this guy on last week. Deepest roster in the fucking history of the National League. And I'm like, what the hell is he looking at? You went and got yourself a corner. Here's what I think happens tomorrow. You get a safety and you sign an edge. I wouldn't be shocked if you signed another offensive lineman. By the way, supers will be read. Xander had to do a lot of working because Howie was drunk with trades over the week. Woo! He was drinking that whiskey sour. Let me make another trade. Oh, and by the way, how's that Gardner Johnson deal look now? Pathetic. I mean, you dump Kenyon. What's his name? Kevin? That stiff they drafted? Holy Madon. All right. 53-man roster will be set tomorrow. Oh, and by the way, cool. At 3 o'clock, the head football coach of the Bucs, Todd Bowles will be on with us. So we got that there for you. Howard Eskin is going to join us at 5:30. Without further ado, man who had to do a lot of work because Howie was working the phone lines. Howie had to upgrade that damn back end of that roster. Without further ado, my boy, Big C, Xander Krause joins us now. How you doing?
What up, Big Sills? How you doing, brother?
What's up with Cowboy guy?
I don't know. They need something, brother. If being a sports fan is supposed to be fun, Sills, it's supposed to be like a hobby for people. It's supposed to be an outlet.
Not agony.
It's not supposed to be misery. And Philly fans went through misery for a long time. And I think we're a happier bunch these days after 2 Super Bowls in 10 years, a couple appearances in the last 3 years. And we know that this team is good. And the documentaries that they're making about the Cowboys now from 30 years ago, we're making our own documentaries right now. The story's just not being told yet, but we're that team and we're becoming that team. And I think that's why they're coming out of the woodwork now because, Texas boy, it's one thing for the Eagles to win 12 games or 13 games and win the East. It's another thing for everybody to talk about us as much as they do, talk about us as a dynasty, look at how young our roster is, look at how good our general manager is and say, holy shit, I'm going to have to deal with a lot of Eagles fans. How can I discredit? How can I take the pickaxe to the tree? And that's what they're trying to do. They're trying to knock us down. And the Eagles are in a great position to really be cemented and cement their legacy right now.
Absolutely. All right, Xander, is this a fair statement? The Philadelphia Eagles have a great 25-man roster. The rest of it, I don't know.
Is that not every team in the NFL? Seriously,
you're not every team. You're the defending Super Bowl champions. Saying that on the Jets is one thing, or the Giants.
No, say it on the Chiefs.
Okay.
Say it on the Rams. Say it on the Commanders.
Okay.
Say it on the Lions, who, by the way, who got injuries last year and fell apart. One of the best teams in football.
And what won it for him? The back end of the roster is what won it for you last year because of injuries that guys came in and played for you that were significant. Every guy you let go was going to be a significant role. So much so you brought one back. I mean, they thought so much of Fred.
Freddie J. You happy Freddie J's back?
I am back. And by the way, people are stupid because you know why? He's a 7-year guy. He doesn't have to go through waivers. that guy would have been a guy who could pick his team. Why didn't you, if you were not, he was going to be cut, why didn't you wait a day? Instead, they wanted him back before the Jaguars did anything and set their 53. So I would say this to you. No, I'd like that move because you know why? He has a role on this team. Is he a frontline guy? Absolutely not. But in his role in Philly, don't you think last year playing those 6 starts, there was a pretty 2 for Lane and 4 for Malata?
Well, no, I mean, I think Fred was a big piece. And I said this morning and last night when I went live last night that when you're operating the way the Eagles are right now, which is clearly with an eye on the future and the contracts coming, that's why they haven't spent any big money. There's ways to actually make improvements for your team, and there's ways to not. And this team is bolstering their depth. There's the one problem I would say that I think is a realistic problem to have with it would be what Bob Brown pointed out a little bit earlier today, that instead of being proactive, how he's being reactive again. And I think I think part of that is by circumstance, by the draft picks that they have. It's easier to be
and being good.
Right. It's easier to be proactive when you don't have good draft picks. Now we have so many good draft picks. It's like, hey, we gotta kind of wait. I have to almost wait and see who does what before we can make a specific move or sign a big player. But I think that would maybe be the one thing. I think it's always better to be proactive than reactive. But I think we're in a good spot. I mean, I'm not really as worried about the depth. I like the Fred Johnson move. Sam Howell's not really doing it, but he's better than Kyle McCord, who was released. So I'm good with that.
And I didn't mind Nick saying on Saturday because, they were playing the game. They were probably trying to trade him. And he was playing the game when he said he didn't feel, he felt comfortable with him being on the 53 man if he had to. So I'm not killing him on that. But here, I agree with John McMullen. I think this is an indictment a little bit on what they didn't do this offseason. Is things that I was pointing out. And one of the comments and topics that I kept bringing up was that the 26 and 27 roster was by far more of a priority than 25. Their actions are dictating that now.
Well, I don't know if
they're going to sign an edge.
But
they're going to sign an edge. They're going to probably sign another safety. They may even sign another offensive lineman because he's going to wait until Tuesday's cuts.
Well, I mean, I don't think you could have done that much different. I don't think they're saying I don't care about 25.
No, I don't mean that.
Yeah, I think it's the nature of like when the merge happens of like, okay, that's when the financial trouble is going to hit because we got to pay defense and we're already paying offense. And that's where kind of the bubble is going to pop. So if we don't prep for it now, we're going to pay the cost even bigger later, and I think they're trying to avoid that. Now, it does look on the surface like they're prioritizing the future years more so than this one, but I don't think that's by direct decision. I think that's partly due to the good draft picks that we just talked about and some of the other contract problems that we have.
That Gardner Johnson deal looks awful now. Do you agree?
I said that. I've been saying that for a while. Well, the other thing I said was Terry McLaurin.
Since the beginning, I thought it was awful.
Well, the other thing I said, not to toot my own horn, but I said fucking a couple of weeks ago, if you're Washington, structure the deal like the Eagles, give them 3 years with an out after 2, and give them $60 million guaranteed. Now, I don't know how much guaranteed Terry got, but he got a 3-year, $32 million a year deal.
Was it 96?
I think it was 96, if I'm not mistaken. But I don't know what the
guy wasn't going anywhere.
No, we knew he wasn't, but yeah, $96 million. I don't know what his guarantees are on that thing.
I think you'll see that tomorrow. Remember, the agent will release it. The NFLPA will release it tomorrow.
$60 million guaranteed. No. That was DK.
Okay, so the agent is going to throw that out now. So we'll find out more. $60 million guaranteed on a $96 million deal. I think that's where the holdup was. Where was the guaranteed money? Well, let me ask you something about Parsons. You think he runs out of that tunnel September 4th?
Yeah. Well, I was thinking about this because I think Micah is a perfect player for Dallas because I think he kind of cares about, the how much talk there is about him too. And what do you think creates more talk for him and the Cowboy brand? It might be him sitting out. Think about it. Micah Parsons not going to play. Every outlet. Micah Parsons not going to play. Jerry Jones this, Jerry Jones that. Make another Netflix film. Blah, 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 blah.
Well, it's covering the beating they're going to get on the 4th?
The beating's coming either way.
I get it. Right. Whether he's
Well,
there or not.
what makes the Cowboys last in the media more? If Mike is out there, if Mike is out there, though, and they get their ass beat, then the Cowboys just stink. If Mike is not out there and they get their ass beat, everybody's saying, what is Jerry doing? They got to get Micah back out of. I think they create more headlines if Micah sits out.
I never thought of it this way. Micah sits out the first game because it's an ass beating and comes back for New York because it's in New York and they're going to win that game. Maybe.
Probably going to win that game. Yeah, who do you think should be the Giants' starting quarterback?
I'm going to say the first month in September should be Russell Wilson, and then I want to bring that guy. Remember, I said I would start Jackson Dart right away.
That's what I mean. Like, I don't know why. I get it that Russell's probably better at this point, but why?
Because he's going to get the ball out of his hands quicker, and he's seen the game.
I would just rather learn.
There's too many. No, I said I would play him right away. And I'd say, man, I would play him immediately. Get his ass out there. Get him in the fire. But I don't think that O-line's good enough to protect a young guy who hasn't really seen the game. What do you make of the Sam Howell move?
I mean, it's good depth, but it makes me wonder a little bit how long Tanner McKee is going to be out. But other than that, I think it was good. I mean, they basically got rid of very little to bring back a quarterback and got rid of Kyle McCord. I mean, Kyle McCord was, look, I'm a St. Joe's prep kid. I'm not trying to bash on him, but holy crap, he was not ready for this league or for this team. So didn't work. Got rid of him, got rid of DTR, and brought in a better quarterback. I mean, look, you got to remember this. Sam Howell's not the greatest quarterback, but he did throw for 4,000 yards almost in 2023. It was like 39.50. He did take the Eagles in 23, coming off a Super Bowl appearance and winners of the NFC to overtime in that game.
Like almost 800 yards in those 2 games.
Yeah, and had pretty good games. Now, again, I mean, it's a third quarterback.
Well, put into context his role.
65 sacks, but he had, dude, you bashed Jalen for 38, and I was kind of on your side. Hey, too many sacks. Sam Howell had 65 sacks in 2023.
Wild. I mean, that's like, seriously, that's like being in concussion protocol every other week.
It's ridiculous
when you're getting hit like that.
No, I mean, look, I do think it's an improvement though.
But don't you think it's more this? Because according to Ian Rappaport, that deal was going to be made anyway.
What deal?
The Sam Howell deal, whether or not he was injured or not, that deal was going to be made. Ian Rappaport.
Oh yeah, that's because the back two. That's because McCord and DTR sucked ice. They were terrible.
Okay, I'll understood. But don't you think it's got a little bit to do with this too? Do you really believe early in the season, if Hurts had to go down for a game, God forbid, 2 games, you really think they believe that Tanner McKee is going to be able to carry your football team with the lack of experience like that in games that mattered? Those games he got in didn't matter really at the back end. Now, they kind of did, but the trade had already pretty much, it did go to the last week when it came to home field. The Eagles were still in the conversation, but the Eagles sat their guys, if I'm not mistaken, for the New York game, right? Dude, do you think a little bit of that? I mean, you want to have a veteran guy back there. He's like the first veteran quarterback you've had back there as a backup quarterback since who? Flacco?
No. We had Gardner Minshew, remember?
Oh, Gardner. Yeah. Gardner Minshew, Sam Howell. Are they the same guy?
Kinda. I think Minshew was better. And
Minshew
he's not
really
he's a backup for what? 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks?
Yeah. So they're kind of the same guy, right?
I think what's being proven more and more is that Tanner McKee is a valuable player.
I agree.
I think Tanner McKee is better than all these dudes we're talking about.
All right.
Gardner.
Let me go here now.
Gardner, better than McCord, better than McKee, or no, better than McKee's not better than McKee, better than DTR, better than whatever, all of them, seems like to me.
Is the corner on this team, yes or no?
Yeah. I think it's probably going to be Bennett in the future. I mean, they already made a move. I mean, how many moves are they going to make at corner?
I don't know. That's yet to be determined after tomorrow. There's going to be good players out there because of money.
Yeah, they might sign a player. They could sign a player. I think John's right. I think they're going edge.
I think they're going multiple places.
Yeah, they might. They might. I mean, they had 3 trades yesterday. I thought we were going to see a double trade today. We had nothing so far, but they have made some moves on the roster, but nothing crazy. Kenyon Green was released. You saw that, right?
Yep. And again, that's to kind of sticks a knife in that trade.
Well, that CJ Gardner trade was always stupid. You know, it always didn't make sense. And the Eagles basically said, our culture and our organization is more important than you as a player. That's what they said. Now, we can analyze whether they're right or wrong. It's a different conversation. Objectively, that's what they said, though, because they basically traded away a pretty good safety who was cheap.
Yeah.
We're talking about paying Reed Blankenship $15 million. He was making $8 million.
Yep.
He was a cheap safety. And we traded him for nothing because he had a bad attitude. So you're basically saying our organization, our team, our locker room is fit to outlast you in this building more so than we need the talent of you as a player. I have a little bit of a problem with that mentality because this league is driven by talent. It's a superstars league. You can see that every time a preseason game airs on the TV, and you can see how shitty the brand of football is.
Yes.
All right. So I'm just saying, CJ could play. CJ could play at a high level. He proved that over and over again. We got rid of him for Kenyon Green because he was a little bit of a shit talker. Really? I mean, really?
That's not good enough.
It's football. Don't you want shit talkers?
Yes.
Like, I want shit talkers.
Yeah.
Especially a couple of them. I don't need everybody to be a shit talker, but gotta have a couple of them. So we'll see, man. That could be a move that bites him in the ass, but we'll see.
So do you think the move for the edge is going to be a, B, or a C move? And what I mean by that is higher the equity and higher the grade. Like if it's an A move, you're talking about giving up a first rounder. If it's a B move, we're talking about giving up anywhere between a 3 and a 5. If it's a C, you're down there with 5 and 6 again. What type of move do you think this is going to be?
For edge?
Yeah.
Well, I feel like it's going to be a B move, but I'd like it to be an A move.
An A move?
I feel like
so
it's
you'd be willing to give a 1-up.
I'd be willing to give up a 1 for Trayvon Walker.
Trayvon Walker.
He's another Georgia kid. He fits in with that defensive line perfectly. He's got 2 back-to-back double-digit sack seasons. He's 25 years old. He's about to make a lot of money, but listen, we all like Nolan Smith. All right, let's put that aside for a second. We like Nolan Smith and we like Jalix Hunt. Do you believe in your heart, Eagles fans, that Nolan Smith is ready to be a number 1 edge and Jalix Hunt is ready to be a number 2 edge on a Super Bowl winning team? Again, I'm not trying to bet. Those players, I think, have big upsides. Are they ready to be the 1 and the 2 on a Super Bowl team? Or Trayvon Walker and Nolan Smith are your starters with Jalix Hunt as your 3rd. That sounds more like a Super Bowl edge group to me. And you're giving up what? The 28th pick in the draft to go and do it?
He's still on a rookie deal. They've picked up the 5th-year option. You don't really have to give him a contract right now.
No.
Until the end of next year, correct?
No, you don't. You wouldn't have to do it right away. I would recommend doing it right away, but they probably won't. I would do a Devontae Smith type.
Because I would want to see what he was in my defense, right? I'd want to see what he was.
Let's look at what he is.
They picked up his option. So they got 2 years with him.
All right, dude. This guy's stats, though.
Oh, dude, he's had a nice start in Jacksonville.
He's got 2 seasons. He went 3.5 sacks his rookie season. He had 10 sacks in 23, 10.5 sacks last year, and he had 2 straight seasons of 17 games played.
I'm great with that.
I'm awesome with that.
There's nobody.
He's 24.
There's nobody on the Eagles with that kind of talent.
How many players in the league are 24 years old with 2 double-digit sack seasons?
And do me a favor. How many games has he missed?
He played 17 games both of the last 2 years. He played 15 in his rookie year.
Well, so there's no.
I don't know if that was injury or if that was because he was a rookie and maybe he didn't play.
They made the playoffs that year too. So I would say this to you. Okay, so he's 24 years old. Where are you projecting you to be in the draft the next 2 years, you think?
Yeah.
24, 25? From 25 to 32, right?
Yeah. 26, 27.
26 to 27 to 32, right?
Yep.
You're expecting to be down there. Basically, you're down near the top of the second round.
Yeah. Brendan says he'll walk across the first. Brendan, I agree. It's a 1. It's a 1 and $25 million a year. That makes him the 5th highest paid edge rusher in football behind Max Crosby.
Would you give a 1 and a 5 up for him?
I give a 1 and a 5 and pay him $25 million a year. And I would say to Nolan Smith, bro, you got to have a good year. I've only seen 9 games. I can't give you $25 million a year, $30 million a year off 9 games.
Doesn't this hedge your bets against both Jalix Hunt? Get this. Doesn't this hedge your bets?
You got 3 more years with Jalix Hunt.
Doesn't this hedge your bet also that one of those 2 guys, you're hoping both guys, but you're also doing this. In case one doesn't, there's my future on the other side. Right?
I think Walker's a great option. I do.
I don't think $25 million for that number.
Dude.
Shit, you don't have a guy in your football team.
I agree. I agree. But can we look at it together and come up with a number? Because this is what I want to show you. All right. Give me 1 sec. I'm going to pull up this and I want to show you because the problem with projecting him right now is the edge rushers have a weird drop off right now where the top 5 guys make 34 million plus or whatever it is. And then you got everybody else. All right, I'm going to pull it up right now. Edge defender. All right, look.
I know the guy Daniel Hunter makes a lot of money. He makes a lot of money.
All right, just give me 1 sec. Here it comes. All right. All right, here's Spot Track, the edge rushers. All right. Now these are total value deals, so it's not average annual. We'll look at average annual next, but total deals would be Max Crosby would be, huh? Oh,
make it bigger. Okay, go ahead.
All right. So Max Crosby 4, he has 106 million. He's making 35.5 a year. Then you got Montez Sweat, 4 years, 98 million, making 24.5 a year. All right. George Karlaftis, a 24-year-old player, just signed his contract. 4 years, 88 million, 22 million a year. Now, if you go an average annual, it changes a little bit, but still you see it goes from 34 after Bosa to 24.5 after that. So there's a huge drop off right there. You have TJ Watt with 41, Myles Garrett with 40, Danielle Hunter with 35.6, Max Crosby 35.5, Nick Bosa 34. Now, in my opinion, Trayvon Walker is a good player. That's tier 1, and he's not in tier 1. Okay. Then you go down to 24.5 and you have Montez Sweat. I think he comes in between 24.5 and 34. Give him $27 million a year. Give him 4 years, $105 million. That's my offer.
Let me see something here. I see a guy here. Great.
It's $60 million guaranteed.
Okay. So my guy from Buffalo, they're shopping him. I mean, they're shopping that kid.
Who?
Rousseau.
Oh.
He's a Miami Hurricane.
Yeah, Greg Rousseau. Well, he's making $20 million a year too.
Yeah. They're shopping the other guy down with the Dolphins too.
Who, Zach?
No, what's his name?
Oh, Jalen Phillips.
Yes. He's another.
See, I think there's a major gap here. And honestly, you know what this tells me? As I'm looking, because I still
you'd pay that number.
Well, hear me out. This is what else it's telling me. I'm looking at this chart still right now, and I just showed you guys the big drop from 34 to 24. Then you got guys like Van Ginkel, 23 million, Karlaftis, 22 million, Leonard Williams, 21.5, Zach Sealer, 21.3, Trey Hendrickson's make 21, Greg Rousseau makes 20, and then there comes Josh Sweat at $19 million a year.
Would you send Nolan Smith in a 3 for Walker?
Why trade Nolan Smith though? I don't want because now
You're not sure about his health.
But to do that is counterproductive because I'm going to bring in an edge and get rid of an edge. I mean,
I get to keep my 1. And I gave a 3 up, and I'm loaded next year with comp picks.
What's more valuable to the Eagles this year, Nolan Smith or a 1 in the future?
I'm getting that player, though. I'm doing that for him. I think he's a better player than Nolan.
He's a better player, but I think the best case scenario is that you have him and Trayvon together. That's part of my projection. Now, maybe you think it could be,
or maybe you'd say Jalix Hunt then.
Yeah, Jalix Hunt and Trayvon, maybe, but that's a big projection, man. Jalix Hunt, I'm optimistic on the guy.
I'm with you.
Yeah, he has not done that much.
But that kid is good. He's just not the number 1 overall pick. You know what I mean? Dude, that's a funny tag on him. Because, when you're the number 1 overall pick, bro, that's quarterback shit. And you think he's ever going to live up to being a number 1 pick? Like you said, this guy's got 24 and a half sacks in 3 years? I don't know. That sounds pretty fucking productive to me. Coming from an edge, and, he's probably got some interceptions in there somewhere. He's a productive tackler.
Yeah. So there's a couple other names that are weird because they're listed as linebackers. So there's a couple other names that you could look at. Josh Allen with the Jacksonville Jags. He makes
a lot of money.
$28 million a year. That's what I mean with Trayvon. Like Trayvon's right there at 25. That's the right number. He's not 34 with Nick Bosa and company. He's not.
If you want to hear this, I know you're going to think this is crazy. I think Josh Allen's a better player than Trey Hendrickson.
I think I don't think Trey Hendrickson is. I think he's a good player. I don't think he's all he's cracked up to be.
That kid Josh Allen,
Brian Burns also makes 28 too.
And you know what? What'd they do? A 3 and a 5 and $25 million in New York for him? That's a steal.
Bryce Huff making 17 is crazy.
Right. In San Francisco now. Okay, so you think they're going to make an A move? Like a move like that?
I don't think they're going to make an A move. I want them to make an A move. I'm willing to do that. You're in a win now window. Like we just talked about the Cowboys living on the glory days. Well, we got to go in for this window. I would go in for the now. Right now. You have a rare opportunity to bolster this defense and run it back for not only this year, but the next 2 years, 3 years. Fucking do it. What are we holding on to a late first round pick? If you can get now, I don't even know if he's available. I'm just saying, if it was out there, I would go and do it.
They've been shopping him. They've been shopping Walker.
I know they have, but they did pick up the 5th-year option.
That because it makes it easier to pick him up.
Bob brings up a good point, but Bob, as he says, Xander, you need to consider the cap hit. Burns and Josh Allen will have a huge cap hit. Bob, who better than the Eagles, though, at managing cap hits?
They got 23 in space right now.
It's not about the space, though. It's about the cash because they're worried. I'm telling you, they got the Carter deal coming. That's what it's about.
Okay, well, then
if they give Trayvon Walker that big deal, they're going to give him what, $60 million in escrow.
So let me ask you this then, Xander. Do you think Howie Roseman underestimated, or I should say overestimated, the moves that they had and the players that they have on the team this offseason?
No, I don't think he overestimated it or underestimated.
Why is he making all these moves?
Well, I think he's analyzing that when you do make Temu signings, there is more likelihood that more of them won't pan out. That's why they signed 12 of them and not 3 of them. You know, they're cutting a lot of them. So there's a little bit more there to talk about. But I think he always came into this approach when he decided to take this approach of a cheap offseason. I think he knew a lot of players weren't going to work out. Most of them probably wouldn't work out. If you get 3 or 4 of them that hit, you're in better shape. Now, right now, it doesn't even look like that many is hitting. Because
but we're almost a week before the season starts, and I'm
aware. I'm not saying you're wrong. I'm aware of that.
Do they keep both Ojulari and Uche?
I guess. And if they don't trade for an edge, they're gonna.
Okay. Who's starting at safety?
Makuba.
Makuba's going to start there. Okay.
Probably not, honestly. It'd probably be Sidney Brown week 1, but I'd put Makuba.
That's who you want.
I want Makuba because I think he's better at what Vic wants him to be better at.
You're a better tackler.
Better tackler, better in coverage, better in space.
Better in space.
That does everything like that better. That's the type of safety that Vic wants.
And you think that it's gonna be Bennett and Jackson out wide, right?
Bennett and Jackson.
Adoree Jackson.
No. Well, Quinion and probably Adoree. Quinion and Adoree with Coop in the slot, and then I think it'll become Bennett on the outside.
I'm saying that you're going to have 2 corners out there. You're going to have Adoree Jackson, and you're going to have Bennett that are going to be playing that position.
Yeah.
And get this, that job is not going to be solidified September 4th. That's going to be a week-to-week. Don't you think the safety and corner are going to be a week-to-week proposition on who plays best? Who gets to start the next week? You're going to go into the season with nobody solidified at those 2 positions.
Don't you by default feel better about corner if you get an edge?
Yes.
Especially a guy like Trevon.
Depends who it is. If it's just a dude, no.
Yeah, that's what I mean. That's why John keeps bringing up that dude. Who's that dude that he keeps bringing up? I fucking already forget his name. He keeps bringing him up. Who was it? Who listened to Birds 365 this morning?
Phillips?
No, not Jalen Phillips. Some dude who makes $7 million a year. I don't know. It's another one of those dudes, and I'm like, he doesn't move the needle. Why? Why do we want another non-needle mover?
I keep my guy in. I keep the guys I have. If you don't know the name, then guess what? I'm keeping the dudes.
It was not.
Oh, it's the Kid White in Buffalo. Is it the Kid White in Buffalo?
No, it's not that dude, man.
The kid from Georgia Tech.
Fuck was his name, man? Yeah, from the Falcons.
Oh shit! They got that. They went out and got James Pierce because
and Jalen Walker. So they don't need. I mean, they don't need them anymore.
Because they went out and got James Pierce.
Let me find him. I'll find him. Arnold Ebiketie. That's what it is. Ebiketie. No. Thank you on your knees. It's Ebiketie.
No, thank you. I'll stick with the guys I have and the team who got.
I mean, Ebiketie's not awful, but I'm just saying he doesn't move the needle at all. So it's like I don't really want another guy that I'm coming in and saying I hope he'll be good. I hope he can do it.
You think they get depth at DT?
I think they're still pretty decent there. I mean, they got 3 guys who I think are very capable, and then 4 is probably a pretty big question mark. But I think you can survive with that. I think you can prevail with that. Remember, Jalen Carter played how many snaps last year? Now, I don't think you want him playing that many snaps every year, but I think they're better positioned to prevail at that position than edge. So maybe they would make a move, but I don't think that would come before the edge.
You're still on Campbell starting.
Well, I think it looks like Campbell starting. I mean, look who played in the final preseason game and who didn't. Trotter played a lot in that game, Sills. That was not a good sign for him.
Playing, yeah. He's gonna be the backup, right? Because if they were gonna, I mean, shit, they sat out Tanner McKee. All right, so the rotation will be against the Cowboys. It'll be
Trayvon Walker. I'm like dreaming of this right now.
It's funny. Everybody in the offseason, we kept talking about him potentially being an Eagle, and I kept saying this. Well, would Howie give a 1-up for that? Howie doesn't. You might not have to give a 1-up. If you trade
the dead cap hit, if they trade him now, 2025. So it's already post
June 1.
And if it's a trade, their dead cap hit's only $6 million. If they released him, it's $26 million. It's only $6 million for them because Bob Brown was saying, what's the dead cap hit for the Jags? 2025 dead cap hit, if it's a post June 1 trade, which it obviously is $6 million. That is not that much.
That's nothing.
That's nothing.
Nothing.
$6 million for them. Dead cap hit. Come on in, Trayvon. Come on in.
This guy, Jake Glad.
Rejoin the Georgia guys. Come on in.
And let me tell you something about this new GM they got down there. His name is Jay Gladstone. And he got appointed to this position early in 2025. He comes over from the Rams. And he was a director of college personnel when he was there in Los Angeles with the Rams, okay? This is something that this kid would do. because this guy wants to build up draft picks because he's a college, his forte is college. So he's going to want a first-round pick. I would think for a guy like that, you would want a 1 and a 3 or 4. Now, you could do it this way too, Xander. A 1 and a 4 contingent on how well Walker plays in Philly. That guy gets you 10-plus sacks. It turns into a 3. Who gives a shit about it? You got yourself a 10.5 sack guy.
That's what I'm saying.
I mean, for a 1 and a 3.
See, I've always thought that. Remember back when the Rams did a thing and they used to say F them picks and they got their Super Bowl. I always thought that there was a level of truth to what they did, but they did it the wrong way. And I think Howie would be the perfect guy to say what picks are actually worth giving up and which ones can we not give up to mortgage our future. Now, I'm not Howie Roseman. I'm not trying to say I know more than him or I know more than NFL GMs, but the way I look at it is I'd be willing to give up our first-round pick coming up and then keep all of our future picks. We had like so many mid-round picks. I got to figure out how many mid-round picks
you could probably trade back into the first round next year too with all the comp picks you have.
So I'm just saying, I don't know, man. I would consider it. I would strongly consider it because the Eagles right now have a 1, a 2, 2 3s, 2 4s, 4 5s, a 6, and a 7 next year. They have 4 5s.
4 5s you turn into 3s you easily.
Now the 4 and the 5 is the conditional from the Hunt pick, so will either become a 4 or a 5. So you're either going to have 1 4 and 4 5s or 2 4s and 3 5s.
What are you most excited about heading into the start of the season?
What do you mean? Football, the Eagles, my team back on the screen, beating up on other football teams. The enjoyment that we get out of doing these shows. I always say, people come in and go, Steelers ahead. I'm like, yo, sports talk is supposed to be fun. Lighten up, everybody. Sports talk is supposed to be fun. I'm excited. I'm genuinely excited for life to come.
I'm excited to see where this goes and lands. I've never been, would you not agree? Even a year ago, this roster, I have no idea what it's going to do. Last year, everyone was talking about the defense. Well, you know what you have coming into this year? You're also talking about the passing game. You're talking about a very young defense. You're talking about backups that you don't really know what you have. You're talking about players that really have limited play. Of all the years in the last 5 years we've been doing this, Xander, this has got to be a year where I really don't know what it's going to look like. I don't know.
I don't know if I agree. I think there are questions, but I think the team is.
You got more questions with more players who haven't done anything in their careers.
Yeah, but
you have before.
Sills, you used to say something to me and you've been saying this well before I started coming on the air, but you used to say to me, I look at trends. Look at trends. I'll do 4-game trends or other. Now I'm looking at a 3-year trend. And I'm just saying, again, that doesn't mean I'm guaranteed to be right, but I'm saying this team in the last 3 years, their worst season, their collapse season, they won 11 football games. Now, it was ugly. I know it wasn't great. And I'm not trying to say that was
no, but that's the floor.
Right. The trend of this team is going in the right direction. The core that has made the team good in those last 3 years is still here, is still with us, is still cemented together. So I'm not going to sit here and say, oh, with all these questions, I think they're going to be a bad team. I think they're going to be a really good team. My question is, how good? Will they win in January? Will they be that good? They're going to be really good. How good? What's the ceiling go to? I think it's pretty high.
Let me get a couple questions on you in the NFL. What do you make of Michael Parsons and that whole thing laying on the sidelines there like that? And
yeah, I mean, you also talked about finger food. You must have missed that because he was walking into the stadium with finger food too, with nachos, eating nachos, walking into the stadium.
How if you're a head coach, do you instill discipline and culture?
Yeah, but
here's a guy walking outside of it.
How are we going to blame Micah when the head of the snake does the same shit? Leadership permeates, Sileo. And when you have an owner that cares more about playing, the protagonist to the media, you're going to create star players who think the same way. But now Micah kind of already has that in him. Jerry's just bringing it out more.
Okay, well, guess what? You know why that thing didn't last in Dallas with Jimmy and him? because Jimmy would go like this to fucking Jerry. Fuck you. Get off the field. This is my team. I run this bitch.
Yeah.
We're doing it this way. It's why it never was going to last past 5 years, because you weren't going to undermine the coach and the discipline on the team. Okay, you just weren't going to do that around that.
I get it. I get it. I mean, look, I think both are at fault. I think Jerry should have paid Micah, and I think now Mike is acting up about it. Now, again, I more view it from an Eagle lens, where it's a good thing for us because they're going to end up paying him more money, and when they do pay him, and they're going to be just like they pay. I mean, they paid Dak $60 million. There's no reason they need to pay Dak. Josh Allen, who just got the new deal, and it's 56. I think it was Josh. 56. Like, Dak, there's been new quarterback deals, and Dak is still the highest paid, which shows you that they paid too much money. They paid too much. They're going to do the same thing with Micah. So from an Eagle lens, it's great. What I think about the player is I think he's a prima donna, and it's coming out more because his owner's a prima donna. And it's like a fist fight of who can be the bigger fucking prima donna. And both of them should grow up and be men and beat the task at hand. But they're not going to do that. They don't care about that. Again, Cowboys fans say it already though. They've already, because this is the new rebuttal for all Cowboys fans. Our owner cares more about $12.8 billion. That's all he cares about. What do you want me to do about it? And it's like, all right, you're right, but that's the truth,
bro. This right here again. I mean, all of that is true. But this is what undermines you on being and getting better. You're never going anywhere because you've got an owner who is totally more, it's more important for him to be in the headlines nowadays than it is to really be a football guy. And so this is where you are. You're right. There's no respect for anything on that team. There's no respect for winning. There's no respect for culture. Xander, this shit doesn't happen in Philly. This is why they're 10 times up.
Yeah. Uh-oh.
What do you make of the Sanders boys story over the weekend with the Sanders boys?
Somebody asked me about that this morning.
Shador,
I don't have a problem with, but I think Shiloh was pretty fucking stupid in what he did. I didn't really see it, but I get on Twitter at night and I see, Shiloh Sanders punches somebody in a preseason game, and I'm like, yo, dude. I mean, you got every team right now has, there's probably thousands of players right now that are on the brink, on the bubble of getting cut on rosters. You won't find anybody on any roster. I don't give a shit what your last name is, where you're fighting for a spot and you're throwing punches in a preseason game and then making the roster. It's like it has nothing to do with anything else other than that player got ahead of himself and made a dumb decision. Now, as far as Shador, I like Shador. I don't think he's got a bad head on his shoulders. I think he gets a lot of flack because of what people think of his dad, and I don't think that's really fair. I don't think it's I don't know. I kind of like it. I mean, look, I'm a people guy. I want them to succeed, but I'm not going to – if a player does something stupid, I mean, yeah, Shiloh should be called. That was dumb. Fuck you doing, dude? If I'm his dad, I'd call him and saying, yo, you want to play in the NFL or do you not? You're punching somebody in a preseason game for. Get your head on straight, dude. You're trying to make a roster. Not get a TV soundbite. Fucking make the team.
That's what I said this morning in Tampa. I went like this. I go, listen, this dude was a practice squad guy.
Yeah.
And he's like right there. He wasn't going to make the 53. And for you to do that, the next guy that's looking at potentially hiring you is looking at your decision-making now. Is that what you really want to have on your team? Now, as for Shador, what I don't like about this story, hey, Xander, you said something a couple weeks ago about Patrick Mahomes. Andy Reid didn't think Patrick Mahomes was ready to play. He sat behind Alex Smith, right?
Yeah. Yep.
What's wrong with having him sit back and watch a veteran guy and Joe Flacco prepare for? But why is it that everyone's like, all of a sudden, Kevin Stefanski's a shitty coach. He's the 2-time NFL Coach of the Year. Like he would, bro.
Well,
I can't believe that he's won as much games and as many games as he won. You talk about a shitty organization. Jimmy Haslam's an awful owner, man. He's the guy that cut that Watson deal.
Well, this is the difference. It's a thing called pedigree. And when you're Andy Reid, you get the benefit of the doubt in situations like that. When you're Kevin Stefanski and you're the Cleveland Browns and your organization has sucked balls and your fans are visibly upset and losing patience, we all know why, then they're going to be more on you about something like that. The other side of this is that Shador is a very unique player. We have not seen a player like Shador in a long time. And I don't mean a talent
You
perspective.
think more of him?
No. I'm not talking about talent right now, Sills. I'm talking about he is a superstar. Whether you think he can play football or not is not what I am talking about. He is a captivating superstar. And he's the third or fourth string quarterback right now. This kid shows up to the preseason game, and there's dudes, kids, everybody mogging him to get into the stadium. Was anybody mogging Kyle McCord to get into the stadium? Shador is captivating. Even the haters. And even people that don't like, he's a you know what I mean. I'm not just talking about praise. I'm talking about you either love him or you hate him. But one thing is guaranteed, you're talking about him.
That's
a rare instance.
He's a black Tim Tebow.
I try not to bring too much race into it, but I get
it.
I'm not trying to say it's not a part of it.
No, because race is in this.
Well, no, race isn't everything. I agree. But again, I'm a white dude. I can't
No. I'm not. What I'm saying to you is that all the white people were pushing and talking, and I'm saying that it's become polarizing, and it's part of the story.
Yeah, I agree with
that's right there. Right, Kim. It's polarizing. Okay, and it polarizes fucking this, that, everything, as you said, the praying of Tebow. Tebow was an enormous and is an enormous star. But guess what? Like you said, his talent at the end of the day has nothing really to do with it. This is more about him being polarizing.
Well, he is very polarizing.
I think, unfortunately, that gets in the way.
I happen to be a fan, but I do think he's very polarizing. What's his name? Zeal responds. He says he's a lightning rod. That doesn't make him a superstar. I don't know, man. When you're the number one
Tanner was talking about that, though. That might even get in the way of his growth as a player. I think it got in the way of Tebow's growth.
Zeal, what happens to you when you're the biggest lightning rod in the biggest sport on the planet?
You get a lot of healing on you.
What by default, Zeal? What happens when you're the biggest lightning rod in the biggest sport in the biggest country on earth, or not the biggest, but you know what I mean, the most powerful country on earth? You're a superstar. Again, it's like saying Trump's a superstar. Not everybody loves him, or not. Some people love him, some people hate him. What cannot be denied is everybody's talking about him. My definition of superstar is probably not what you're thinking it is. He is going to be talked about on every single network, every single week, across every different social media platform, in every different fan. I've never seen this. This kid's talked about by every fan base. So he's a Cleveland Browns quarterback.
He was on This Morning, Good Morning, CBS, and they were talking about it. I said it with a couple guys this morning. I've never in my life seen more publicity for it at UDFA in Shiloh and a fifth-round quarterback. I've never seen anything like it.
Yeah, Shador, he's big, man.
And by the way, for me, on Shador, this ain't personal, dude.
No, I'm not saying you're saying it's personal. I'm just saying that it's a complex player to gauge the situation, because
it's a complex story.
Look, he does have a bravado about him, right? And I like it. Again, I like confident players like that. I like people who don't give a shit. I like people who are willing to be themselves despite what everybody else, what all the nerds and, glasses and their polos and their big ass stomachs hanging over writing about the player. I get it. I like that. So I appreciate it. But the objective reality is that it is a bravado, and it does bring love and hate. And he's kind of threaded that needle perfectly with his dad, who does it the same way, with the way the draft happened. I mean, did you hear who was the quarter or the old football player? I think it was Eric Dickerson was on a show recently.
Yeah.
And he said he heard that the NFL was calling teams telling them not to draft Shador. Now, again, I don't know if that's true or not. It might not be true. It might be true. I don't know. I'm not going to question Eric Dickerson. I'm just bringing it up to say, to the point of, everybody wants to talk about Shador. Whether he's a fifth-round player or an undrafted player, doesn't matter. He is a massive name right now in the sports world.
Do you think his father, Dion, helps or hurts him?
Confident people make other people uncomfortable. I don't think it should hurt him. I think, unfortunately, it does hurt him because the nerds are more in control of this world than they should be. And that's just the reality of the beast. Dion is a powerful dude, a successful dude who's done it his way, who doesn't give a fuck what the status quo is, who doesn't care what people say he should or shouldn't do. He does it on his way. He does it how he wants to do it. And he's done that his whole life.
Well, Dion
And
can
now,
do
wait,
that.
well, even worse, though, Sills.
Dion can
Now-
do that because of Dion's talents.
Well, I know he could, but that doesn't, I mean, I'm not going to
And
hold
by the
that
way,
against
I'm not
Shador.
blaming his kids. I'm not
That's what I
blaming
mean. I'm not going to hold that against Shador.
No, I'm not either.
But here's the other thing about Dion. Now Dion's done it in a realm where it used to be so cookie cutter. You had to be a certain persona. You had to do this different thing as a coach. Dion came and said, I'm doing it my way. I'm doing it this way. I'm going to wear this. I'm going to train my players like this. I'm going to talk about this with my players. And now people don't like that even more. So Dion, talk about lightning rod. He's the king lightning rod in that family,
So they cut Terrence Marshall?
Probably. I didn't think he was making the team. So I hope Darius Cooper's making the team.
Do you think he's done enough for them to cut him and bring him back?
Who, Terrace? Probably to the practice squad.
Because, no. I'm talking about Darius Cooper because John said something interesting last week, and I never looked at it through Howie's eyes. Howie goes like this. Do you think I could cut him, bring him back? Has he done enough for other teams to pick him up? Because who do I think could get through waivers is how I'm going to try to build my football team. Now, do you think they play that game like that? Because they really like him. They want him on the team. Do you think that they would cut him, bring him back, put him on the practice roster, and then elevate him? But has he done enough for another team to claim him? Because he would have to go through waivers.
I don't think he's going to get claimed.
I don't either.
Wait. Darius Cooper, you saying, or Terrace?
Yeah, I don't think he would get claimed.
No. They're going to keep Darius. I think he's done enough to get claimed. I think there's two. Here's the thing about Cooper. I think in a regular year, Darius Cooper wouldn't get claimed. I think when you're the Eagles, though, and everybody's had the microscope on your team and you won the Super Bowl and everybody's been talking about you and everybody's talked about Howie Roseman for the last 3 years, the best executive in football, and Darius Cooper has gotten the type of headlines he has from the Eagles camp, now I think he's probably going to get claimed. Even if Sills teams do their homework and they don't like what they see, they might say, hey, let's take a shot. He's better than who we have on our squad. That's the where. I think he would actually get claimed. I thought you were talking about Marshall at first. I think Darius would get claimed. I think he's going to be here. I think they're going to keep him.
So he's part of the rotation. Hey, so did John give you any
Eli
insight?
Ricks got waived, by the way.
Yeah. Did John tell you anything about AJ if he's going to be ready to rock in week 1?
He assumed that. I mean, I'll get more clarity on it, but last time we talked, he said AJ should be ready for week 1. Yeah.
Okay. How about?
Remember, I was pushing when they traded for Mechie, and he was, basically made me feel like I was insane for asking.
I know this is where I'm at here. I mean, okay, who would be the most surprising cut for you coming up still tomorrow?
Yeah, I can't say there's a lot of surprise. There would be any surprises. Maybe
Keely Ringo being cut?
Nah, because I think he can play special teams. I think they would try and trade him. I mean, he's still a cheap player that they drafted a couple years ago. I don't think that they would get rid of him. I mean, remember, part of roster construction is the back end has to play special teams, and he can do that. So I don't think he'd get cut, but I wouldn't rule it out completely. I can't say it would be
McCollum's role.
What's that?
What's Tristan McCullum's role?
Backup safety. I mean, is he going to?
Okay, so he's a third team safety.
I don't know how many safeties are they going to keep.
That's what I'm saying. Okay, where if you're going to go Makuba and Brown there, where's Tristan in that? That's 4 safeties, counting Reed.
Well, remember they're probably going to go heavy on corner because they have Cooper who can do both.
Okay.
So that gives you a little bit more flexibility when you have a corner who can do both.
One last one before we read the supers. So you're saying this now. Remember the rule, Xander. If you're going to have a guy as your emergency quarterback, he's got to be on your 53-man roster. You can't. You have to bring him up from your practice squad, then you put him on your 53-man roster to have him as your emergency. Are the Eagles carrying 3 quarterbacks?
Well, yeah, because they got rid of McCord. I thought they were going to try and get McCord to the practice squad. I guess maybe they still could. I'm not really sure how that works, but
didn't they only have 2 quarterbacks active last year?
No,
they had 3.
No, they had Pickett and then McKee was the emergency.
So he was on the 53 then.
Yeah, he's on the 53.
Okay, he was on. So that's right. So
remember, you have to have an emergency quarterback now.
Yeah, but he has to be on the 53.
Yeah, McKee was on it last year.
Okay,
he got swiped out.
Okay. Yep. Okay. So they're going to go 3 there. How many receivers are they going to keep in your opinion? What's John saying?
I think John said 5 this morning.
5. Okay. How many tight ends do you think?
John said 3.
3? I thought it was 2. Okay.
Well, he's factoring in the run-heavy approach potentially.
How many O-linemen? 10?
10.
That's down from 11.
They're pretty easy to project now.
Have you been disappointed with the O-line depth?
Yes. I said that after the preseason game on the postgame show. I didn't think they looked like they were cracked up to, and it was proven.
Do you know that could be a lot to do with the quarterback's play too, though?
Yeah, but it was both, dude. I mean, I'm not sure how much of that damn preseason game you watched. It was much of a snooze fest. So
I did a little.
Yeah, it was.
I watched the first half, and I went,
"Oh
yeah,
my god, bad, dude, it was bad."
Yeah, I was like, yeah, no, I mean, the
Tough
Jets
to watch.
are so bad.
The Eagles looked awful, bro. They did not look better.
Yeah, I think they threw that game in a trash can, though.
Yeah, I'm not. It's a preseason game. I don't really care. I'm just saying it was tough to watch for sure.
All right, let's read those supers, bro.
All right, let's do it. Prince says, sign Mike Hilton and position him in the slot. Is he a free agent?
I don't know.
31. Oh, yeah, he got released today. The Dolphins released him.
Played for Vic. Played in that too high. That's not terrible. Could sign him to possibly league minimum. He's 31 years old.
5'9", 183. Whew, man, these small safeties.
At 31? That would all depend on the relationship that he would have with Vic.
And he's a corner, so that's fine as a corner.
Yeah, no. I'm looking for a little more than that.
Well, we'll see. Big Marshall says, not cool that tight end hit Shiloh first and nobody's saying shit. Wow, go watch the clip. Well, Big Marsh, I agree with you that tight end was a jerk off too, but here's the thing. If you're going to be the center of attention, you got to understand that comes with a different territory.
That's right.
Right? That's like a quarterback acting like
a
bench player. You
That's
don't
right.
do that. You got to understand the territory. So he's a young man. I'm not trying to bash him. He's a young man. It's tough for him that,
the 13 tight end, nobody gives a shit about. You're right. Yeah. He could start it. Xander just said it. Shiloh has to carry himself bigger and better at all times. Is it fair? No. But if you're going to walk the walk, okay, you got to go in that room. Marsha, I mean, listen, you're not wrong. Nobody's saying anything about the tight end. Nobody gives a fuck about the tight end. By the way, the Bucs haven't closed the door on bringing him back to the practice squad, but Todd Bowles, who's going to be on tomorrow at 3, by the way, he's not going to tolerate that kind of bullshit. He's just not. That's not who he is.
Kyle says, Cowboys are stuck on the Titanic and the iceberg is coming on September 4th.
The only difference about knowing the Titanic story now, Kyle, we know the boat hit the berg.
Wait, no. Kyle's acting like that the boat hasn't they've been sinking for 30 years, dude. They're on like the final raft they have out that's about to hit the next iceberg.
Yeah, you're about to become a frozen popsicle come September 4th. That thing's over, Junior.
All right, here we go. Rashid says, don't forget, we would have Walker for 2 seasons under his rookie contract without giving him a deal. Well, I would recommend getting the deal done quick because I'm not waiting because a bunch of edge rushers are about to make bigger money. I wouldn't wait. I would give him the money. You could probably get him at 26, 27 million a year. He's going to be a double-digit sack guy for the next 5 years on your football team. You position yourself beautifully with that player.
So what are you going to do? Have the entire 2021 Georgia Bulldog front 4 playing in Philly?
I mean, if they've proven though that they're good at the NFL level, I don't give a shit where, you know what I mean, where they played. If they're good, then they're good. I mean,
He's good.
He's good.
He's good. He's a good player, man.
I mean, dude, he's 24 years old. He's got 2 double-digit sack years. Not many 24-year-old NFL players can say that. Oh, yeah, I've had 2 seasons of double-digit sacks.
24 sacks in 3 years. That's really good.
Yeah. He's a young kid.
And he's like
young man.
24.
Dual Threat says, yo, UNZ have the best program nation. Thank you, brother.
Thank you very much, Dual.
Appreciate you, Dual. Philly Don says, Eagles met with Ja Joyner. What's your thoughts? I'm not familiar with him.
I don't know who he is either.
Ja Joyner? Let me look him up.
Eagles met with Ja
Joyner. Raiders, 24 years old, defensive end, 6'4", 262, pretty small.
What school he go to?
Minnesota.
He's a Bama kid.
From Danbury, Connecticut, Sills.
Oh, wow. So he played in the FCAC. Okay.
So.
Yeah, he played in my conference.
Danbury High School he went to.
Yeah, he's a Hatter. Got it. All right.
Dorky
I have to look him up more. I'll look him up more, dude.
You dorky-ass Connecticut people. Yeah. Brian Pump says, JC Sills, how many moves do we need? Almost as if Howie trolled the offseason. Good teams don't usually need this many moves this late.
He's not wrong. And I agree with John.
But I think I've already addressed. I think the approach that they took this year was Howie always knew probably coming into this that he was going to be shaking and baking late August because you didn't sign proven play. You signed a lot of cheap darts.
I don't know if they thought that Keeley would bomb as much as he did.
That I agree with. Keeley's different. Everywhere else, though, is I think they brought in. Remember, John.
I think they have to be disappointed in the old lineman they drafted.
John brought up something this morning. All right. John brought up something this morning and said, Howie said on a press conference a couple months ago when he spoke, and he made one phrase. I'm going to paraphrase. I don't know if exactly this was it, but I can always find backups is basically what Howie said. And you're seeing this right now. He's taking on some of his 6th, 7th round picks in the future. He's flipping them around and bringing in better backups. You got Fred Johnson for a 7th, you know? I mean, it's always easy to find backups. So it's where the good teams, it's the good players.
The thing that John said is right. Xander, you spent 8 months working with dudes. And for you to go like this, well, I'm going to throw my hands up, and Jeff Stoutland couldn't do anything and find a swing tackle? I mean, you drafted guys, you signed guys, and all of a sudden
they projected they wanted to take offensive linemen in the first couple rounds.
But wait, 10 days out from the start of the season, all of a sudden, 8 months of work, you couldn't find a guy? That's an underestimation of what you had in your building. They underestimated. Or I should possibly say they overestimated what they had. So, I mean, people could sit there and say and go like this. You're making, and they're probably, and get this, would you not agree, Xander? If they go get Walker, they clearly underestimated what they thought they had on that team.
Yeah, but I'd be happy with that.
That would be the 7th move you've made.
Yeah, but what's the alternative? What is the alternative?
I'm not saying that's not the right. Hey, addressing mistakes is okay if you address them. If you let them linger like the Cowboys do, that's worse. I'm not saying you're wrong. Howie's looking at it like this. Fuck. Okay, I need to go get Fred. That's not bad. Okay, but you sat for 8 months and you came to the conclusion 10 days out from camp. I fucked up on the O-line projections on what I thought we had in the room. That's what that Fred Taylor trade represents, Xander. I mean, we drafted dudes. We have guys. John was telling me you guys had 11 ready-made guys. Well, that's not what that trade means. So I think they really overestimated the talent they had, and especially some of them Temu signings. I mean,
I think they're in good shape. If they had an opportunity to go and get a player like Trayvon Walker, I would do it.
Okay. Hey, I say one more time. You got a really good 25-man roster. Unfortunately,
dude, that's fucking every team in football, dude. Don't give me that bullshit.
We're not talking up. You're not every team. You're the fucking defending Super Bowl champions. You're not every team. You're not every team.
Yeah, but dude, that doesn't.
You're the elite team in the NFC. There's a difference in your roster level of talent versus the fucking Carolina Panthers.
All right, so who are the better teams?
Nobody. That's the point. Okay. No. What I'm saying is that you're making all of these moves now and you're calling yourself the best team. I said you have a great 25. There's 53 dudes on the roster. And all these moves you're making, get this, I don't really have to say anymore. All I have to do is watch how we move.
Well,
okay. I mean, right?
I mean, I hear you, but let's see how it plays out. I mean,
that's totally true.
I think that's where I'm at. Like I said to you, I am banking on the trend a little bit. All right, this team is proven to me.
Every right to.
Yeah, I mean, the trend of this team is in a good direction.
Yep.
They still got the core. They still have a quarterback who is learning more each year, and I in my estimation, will continue to get better. I think they're in a good spot, but I understand where you're coming from with it.
I understand where you're coming from too, because the rule is, how good is a team? You can only go for the last 3 games on what your deals are when it comes to trends and how good you are. Find out how great your organization has been. Go the last 3 years, and that's right. How have you been the last 3 years when it comes to drafting, free agent signings, and evaluating and elevating talent? I don't know. That's why I said to you a couple minutes ago, I don't know where this is going to land. I really just don't know where it's going. Hey, you get an injury at Q. You get an injury at the linebacker position, the pawn. You get an injury anywhere in that O-line. Bro, you don't have the depth you had a year ago. You're not going to overcome that shit.
Sileo.
I'm just hooking you up here.
I want you to listen to me very fucking.
Oh, yeah, I forgot. Let me hear it.
You ain't batting so hot right now,
no,
Mr. Sileo.
I have been dead on with everything I've said this offseason.
This team is in good shape.
Okay.
This team is in good shape.
His moves aren't showing that, but okay.
Well, I think what lens are you looking at it through?
I'm looking at it that I was told that this was a stacked roster, and I'm watching the guy make 6 different moves in the last 10 days.
Oh, yeah. I think you're making it sound like they're swapping out their starting quarterback.
No, I said you had a top 25. You had 25 good players on your roster. No. You're not listening to what I said. I think you had 25 really good football players. So
who plays a bigger part in any Super Bowl team winning and all? The top 25 or the bottom 25?
The roster. You won your Super Bowl because of your roster.
No. Answer my question.
No, I'm going to answer the full 53.
Answer my question.
Hold on. How much of an influence do you think Oren Burks, Fred Johnson, and Isaiah Rodgers played in your success a year ago?
They played a lot. I agree. That's why you brought back Freddie.
Who are those?
Yeah, welcome back.
I love that move, actually.
Freddie J for a 7th, baby.
Hey, I like that move. I think that puts you in a good.
Oh no, yeah. Freddie Johnson is back, baby.
Do you agree that Howie thought it was wrong that he didn't sign him now?
No.
You gave up a pick for him too, and you went and traded for him. But you don't think
they probably ate half the signing bonus. He's cheaper now.
Oh, wait a minute. So him letting him walk out and him going and trading for him, you don't think he admits making a mistake there? I got it.
Look at 40-6. He says, Sales always frames it as A or B. What about C? Maybe people know how he's open for business and called him and he couldn't pass on Fred for a 7.
46. Don't fucking play my game.
Yeah, dude. A couple weeks ago, you told me this team is the best team in football. You still believe that?
Oh, that top 25 years? Yeah.
All right, then enough said.
I don't think you have the best roster all around. You're not as deep as you were.
What do you mean?
Well, there's 53 guys on a team, dude.
I know. I didn't ask you, is my top 25 the best? I said, do we have the best team? You said yes.
25? Best 25 now.
No. I'm not saying. I don't care about the best 25.
Oh, no.
I'm talking about the best football team in the NFL right now.
That's 53? Let me see. I could live without fucking Brown. I could live without any corner you have outside of Q. Let's see here. You're like, I can't believe I'm going to say this, man. Your best unit in your defense is probably your linebackers, which is fucking crazy.
Might be.
Right?
How about them corners?
Ooh, how you doing?
How about them edge rushes? That's a deep room.
Uchalara and
In all honesty, John has won me over on the edge rusher depth because the two guys that you need to be good are still projections.
Yeah.
You know, so you got to get another guy. If we bring in Trayvon Walker, I will be insufferable.
I got one last thing. That will look great too, your front seven.
I will be insufferable. You might kick me off your show.
Hey, wait. I got one last thing.
You might relegate me to once a week.
Hey, no way. Listen here. Top 100. So your boy Hurts get bumped down.
Oh, dude, you're ridiculous.
From 15 to 19.
What happened? 20 player in the NFL.
Wait a minute. He was 15 a year ago, and now he's 19. He got bumped down. I don't know.
What do you mean? It's because they ran the ball last year. I think it's a pretty appropriate spot for him.
Okay.
19, a top 20 player in football. I'll take that.
Don't get so sensitive here. I just said he got bumped down 4.
Oh, wait, what else happened? Who's going to be in the top 5 players in the NFL?
Hey,
no. Who's going to be in the top 5?
He got bumped down 4.
Who is going to be in the top 5?
He went from 15 to 19. How's that?
All right, you added a number 1. You added a top 5 player in the NFL who was a running back.
Oh, okay. I know.
Quite obvious that your quarterback might.
I know. Your quarterback was the second fiddle in the
You're acting like you went from 15
your
to 6.
quarterback was the caboose last year because Barkley's
No. 19 is not a caboose.
Barkley's going to be ranked. I guarantee.
Now the 19. Now the 19th.
Where do you think Barkley's going to be ranked?
32 teams. He's the 19th best player.
Barkley's going to be ranked.
Barkley might be 1.
Okay. So 1. Now I know why your boy got bumped down. Get the best player in the league.
It's obvious. It's not a bad thing.
Oh, hey, I know it's obvious.
Added the number 1 player in football.
Hey, I got it. Hey, when you're when you got to play second fiddle to the number 1 guy, I got it.
Listen to me.
Hey, no. I'm just following the list. I don't know.
This team is coming. And they're in a good position. Now, they got some things to overcome. They got some questions. And I think those are all very fair and fine to talk about, discuss, and analyze. But the truth of the matter is this. This team is going to be in the top, in the conversation to win the Super Bowl again this year. Again, my question isn't if they're a great team. It's how great. How far will they go? How good will they play in January? How far will the climb be this year? Last year, they were able to climb the distance. It's a hard thing to do every year. There's no doubt. And you need 53 men bought into the vision and the goal. That's a tough thing to do, but I think the team's in a good spot to do it.
I'm going to say that Barkley comes in at number 5.
No, higher.
No way.
He should be the number 1 player in football based on last year.
Okay.
He should have won the MVP in football.
Let me ask you this. Is this based on last year? Not
I
based
think it
on
is actually.
Career?
Well, I think naturally the career clouds it a little bit, but I do think it's supposed to be based on last year.
Wow.
I think so. It doesn't mean that's how they vote, but I think that's what the idea is.
What do you think Lamar lands?
Probably top 5, top 10, if not 5, because I don't know. What did he have a great year last year? He did, kind of.
Shit, he was 4,141. I mean,
yeah, so probably top 5.
How about Allen? Where do you think he lands?
Top 5.
I think top 3.
Yeah, I mean, you could always make a case for any of them for top 3. I mean, especially Allen, Lamar, Mahomes, Saquon.
Henry's going to be up
Joe
there.
Burrow.
He hasn't been brought up.
Probably top 10.
Henry hasn't been put up yet.
Yeah, I'm good with Jalen at 19. I mean, look, Jalen probably could say to you, "Oh, I know why I dropped it. You know, they asked me to do a little bit less last year. It's just kind of the nature of the beast. You know, they didn't ask me to be an MVP. You know, and that's okay. That's okay. I got the ring. I'll take dropping from 15 to 19 in a ring.
I just pointed it out. He dropped 4 spots. I got it.
I get off the show. My mother's calling me.
Tell mom hi. By the way, your best part of your family is your mom because she's a paisan. How you doing?
Yes, she is. She really, actually, before I came on the show today, I ate a big bowl of leftover last night. We had her Sunday pasta, and she was making the sauce from the morning. Oh, man, it was good. Man, was it good. So I ate that before I came on the show today. I had a little extra pasta. Maybe
That's
a little
great.
too much pasta, but
good for you.
All right, brother. Appreciate you.
You got it, man. Love you, Xander.
Later, Rick.
Appreciate you, man. All good, my friends. Absolutely. We got to pay some bills. Hey, for the record, we're going to have Howard Eskin with us, and Howard will be with us at the bottom of the hour at 5:30 Eastern time. So make sure you buckle up for that. Also, tomorrow at 3 o'clock, we are going to have Todd Bowles, the head football coach of the Buccaneers, on, who in week 4 the Eagles play. And if things go right, folks, you're going to be able to get Todd on again that week of that Bucs game. And you know what I might be doing? Big Joe Krause and Xander are working on this. How would you guys like to do this? How would you guys like to be a simulcast with my radio show in Tampa? And it covers pretty much the entire state. We do a simulcast. And so I'll be bringing your names up while we're talking, and you guys can call in to the radio show. You'll be able to call in while we're doing it live and simulcasting. We may have to do it on a Saturday, though. Okay? So you'll be on in Florida, and you'll get to call into the radio show. You'll be seen here on JAKIB at the same time. What do you make of that? Would you like that? So I think that's where I'm trying to work that special for you guys. Okay? Howie's not done trading. I feel there's more to come. What that looks like, who knows? But edge is a priority in my opinion. Okay. Xander, I think I missed another super. So I'm working on that for you guys, because you guys, I might have to do a special show on a Saturday. Okay? And the show would air. I don't know yet how we would do it. We're working on that. And so we could have it like a pregame show on a Saturday, talking Eagles, and we could have Eagle people and Buck people calling. Then you guys, by the way, you can watch the show and you could call in at the same time. Oh, no, Sue, of course I'll let you call in. Of course I would. Sills, I'd offer Nolan and Eagle 1. We get Walker in a Jacksonville conditional 3rd and 27. Conditional 3rd, that would go to maybe a 2. Nolan's not built for an edge. How about this, Bob? I think Nolan is not built for longevity. Trading Nolan is a big piece, but with Walker's a better player. I think Walker's got still more upside. Can you imagine Walker on a better football team with Vic Fangio? All right. Yeah, Kim. You know what? Maybe one day, we tie them all together. And, people could come here and listen to the show in Tampa at the same time. I really wouldn't change it much, because I talk Eagles. You'd be shocked how much Eagles I talk. I bring you guys up all the time when I'm talking to the Bucs. I think you'd be shocked. And you know what's funny? I think you guys would also be shocked that I call you guys the gold standard. I may not say that here, but in Tampa I do. I say the Eagles are the gold standard because they're the champions. I mean, you guys are talking about winning the NFC South. They're talking about repeating. So there's a different mindset. Might be the best thing in the world for Buck fans. Big Seals, being able to rip somebody to shreds on the phone would be hilarious. I'd let everybody call in. Even dumbasses. Seals, you see that kid Myers from the Raiders requested a trade? I did. I hope you tell everybody in Tampa what a wonderful person Mr. Maniac is. I will. Been here from the beginning, brother. Seals, making me want to watch this Buck show. It's a radio show, Brandon. It's not a stream show. It's a radio show. I'm on 10 to noon on 8:20 a.m. It's radio. But what we would do is we would tie it in. Hey, you want to know this? So Todd Bowles can't go on that show. And plus, I don't really want Todd on that show until he comes here first. I told you, all the big names start here first. I don't like putting people on that show that haven't been here because this is my bread and butter. Okay? And so I really don't. And so I said this. They go, Sills, he only has a 3 o'clock window. I said, perfect. Let's put him on the National Football Show. So right after, Xander and I are going to send the Bucks a link, and we're going to get the head coach on tomorrow. If you guys do it right, we're going to get the coach on week 4. The great thing is that you are not a fan of any – I'm not. I'm a fan of football. That's right. Kim, I swear to you, I'm not a fan of any team. I'm not a fan of the Bucks. I like the Bucks because I played there. And really, like I said, the only reason that I have the gear, if you notice, the only gear I have behind me is Xander gave me my best friend who played with me at Miami. That's my uncle's jersey, who's a Hall of Famer. This man is my best friend, Leroy Selman. That's my picture on when I got drafted day 1 on the front page of the Tampa Tribune. My Canes jersey, a Canes helmet, my Bucks helmet, my Catholic High. I know you guys hate it, but I played for the Cowboys a little bit. And then my World League helmet. That's it. Totally cool guy. Yes, but there's nothing back there that, that resembles that back there. So, yeah, no. Yes. Guys are great here, man. Have you grown to like cover? Oh, I love covering them. How about this? JD3, great question. It's probably the best team that I've ever covered. The Bucks sucked for a long time. The Bucks are in their, how about this? Right now, the Buccaneers are in the golden age of Buck football. In the last 5 years, they've won a division 5 times and they've won a Super Bowl. It's the best. Yes, William, World League of the NFL own that league. Actually, you want to hear something crazy? I get a credited year with the NFL because I played in the NFL. That's an NFL credit because the league owned that. Kurt Warner got that. Thank you very much, Shane. Seals, you're a fan of the game, and it's totally, without a doubt. That's what makes you a big name in this industry. You're a rare breed, and us true fans love you for it. Thank you very much, Shane. That's really exactly. I love football. I love what football means. I love the game. I love what it teaches you. I love what you learn from it. I love everything about football. I love the game. I just love the game. I really do. Best game ever created. I mean, Josh Allen will never win anything. He's a great player, but he doesn't have – that's not true. If anything, and the reason why he doesn't win, it's because the organization will let him down. That's a fucking dumb comment. Are you trying to tell me you think that fucking Trent Dilfer has Super Bowl DNA because he won with the Ravens? That Trent Dilfer has more championship DNA than – that's a dumb comment. Stay away from ESPN, Sills. I'm so not – well, I don't know. Because they hired McAfee. I mean, I was doing this show, and McAfee does kind of my show now, and so does Portnoy. I've been doing this show for 25 years. But, to answer your question, I really do love covering the Birds. It's a lot of fun. And I'll tell you one thing is great. There is no doubt I've never met a more passionate fan base in my entire life. Trent Dilfer was a generational talent. Yeah, I got it. Sills, besides MVP, what has Allen won? What else should he have won? He won besides the MVP. What else has he won? Nothing. It's either Super Bowl or the MVP. How about this? I guarantee you when Josh Allen retires, he'll be a first ballot Hall of Famer. When Jalen retires, that'll be a questionable. Because Hall of Fame voters will look at numbers. Is it right? Probably not. Getting Big Sills to work a 6-day work week. I'm all for it. Hey, when the season starts, I work pregame or pre and post game. Okay? I work 6 days during the season. Thoughts on the new Cracker Barrel logo? Why wreck something that's an American icon? Why go there? Now, for me, Leon, I'm not one of these people, Leon, that I give a shit about that stuff. If the food's good, I'm going to eat it. Like, your politics is not going to sway me from buying something that I enjoy. Like Chick-fil-A is a very political and religious place, right? That's not going to sway me on not buying them chicken sandwiches. I don't give a shit about that. Right. I love Cracker Barrel too. Whether you have a weirdo dude on there or whatever, I don't really give a shit about that. Like, I don't form my opinion based on images. I form my opinion based on how you treat me. Like, if you have good service, I like being taken care of. If you do the right thing, you're going to get me to come back. I'm not going to ask you if you're Republican or Democrat. I could give a shit. I really don't. I'm not going to not buy something because, well, they're politically. Fuck that. I don't care about that shit. I really don't. I don't. I got more important things to worry about than Cracker Barrel's logo. But I know where you're coming from because it's a big deal now. Seals, you going to the Canes versus Notre Dame game? I'm doing a live stream. Or I'm doing a conversation with the team on Saturday night. I'm not going, but I'm doing something for the team Saturday night. And they've got, get this, Michael Irvin, myself, Sapp, and Ray Lewis, and Ed Reed, and a couple guys. We're all going to do a conversation with the Canes before they're going to be at the hotel. And we're going to log in, and we're going to Saturday night. We're going to talk to them. And so, yeah. And I'll give you guys a little bit of what I'll say. You get a chance to go into a game like that. You got a chance to make your own history. Everybody in the world's going to be watching you. It's Notre Dame. I mean, I don't know about you, but games like that used to make me not sleep well because I couldn't wait to get in them. I just couldn't. Hey, you see this dickhead here, the real Zeal? We beat them Notre Dame guys 82-7. We beat the living fuck out of them. They were never in a ball game with me. It was embarrassing. We embarrassed them. I'm not sure make a big move everyone wants. I don't think the organization has been aggressive enough. Maybe Howie's aiming. He is aiming at 26-27. Hey, 82-7, we beat them. Think about that. 58-7, Leon. And 24-0. We shut them out. My teams. Destroyed them. They just destroyed them. Never in the games. And, I'll tell them guys, go make your history, man. Go beat the piss out of them. And if you see them, you know what I want to say? One last thing before I take a time out here and pay some bills. You know what I would tell them? I don't give a shit what you do. If you have to pick a chair up and hit them over the head, if you have to kick them, if you have to come off the top rope, I don't give a shit what you have to do. I want to see bodies everywhere. I want you, I don't know if you ever saw The Last of the Mohegans, to rip their heart out and eat it in front of them. I don't care. I want that mentality. I want you to rip their heart out of their chest. Jills, I remember you saying you'd prefer Emmett over Barry. Lamar's Barry, Emmett is Hurts. Interesting. I like that take, Harry. That's pretty good. Hurts is Emmett? Wow, 7-day work week. Big sell, 7 days a week. Hey, how about this, man? I work 2 hours in the morning on the Tampa show, and I work 4 hours here. I work 6 hours a day here. Every day, Monday through Friday. What do you think? I just sit around? I work 6 hours a day on the air. Thoughts on Beck? Think he's trash. I'm sorry. I thought his sophomore year, he was great. Too many turnovers a year ago. He's going to have to not turn the ball over. And again, it's going to come down to the defensive line play. Okay? Beck is 25-3 as a starter. Yeah, I mean, won a ton of games at Georgia. Yeah. If Hurts wins another ring, he's in the Hall of Fame. Yeah. 3 appearances, 2 Super Bowl rings. Yes. Yes. I mean, 3 appearances. I can't think of a guy who's been to 3 Super Bowls not in this. No. Is that right? Is there a quarterback that's been to 3 Super Bowls and he's not in the Hall? That was the starter, not just a guy on the bench. I don't think there's one. I don't think there's a quarterback who's played in this league that's been to 3, 1, 2. I can't think of a quarterback. Well, Kelly. But he's in the Hall of Fame. Mr. International. He's a first ballot Hall of Famer, though. Franz Harkinson's a Hall of Famer. I said I can't think of one player that's been to 3 Super Bowls not in the Hall of Fame. Those guys are Hall of Famers. Franz Harkinson's a Hall of Famer. Kelly's a Hall of Famer. So you've seen Arch Manning play. If Arch Manning throws for 5 touchdowns versus Ohio State, he's never been to a Super Bowl. If he throws for 5 touchdowns versus Ohio State, he'll be the most sought-after quarterback prospect in the last 40 years. If he does that. Okay? He will be. Well, what's this here? Didn't Brady do it? Brady's going to the Hall of Fame, though. Hurts needs more All-Pros. I don't know about that. 3 Super Bowl appearances, 2 wins. I don't believe there's a quarterback, like I said, that's been to 3 Super Bowls. That's not in the Hall of Fame. How about this one? I think the Cowboys would make a play for Arch Manning. He played in Austin. Why not have the Cowboys make a move to try to get Arch Manning to play in Dallas? Why not do that? All right, let me pay some bills here. Big sales here. Number 1 injury law firm in all of America is Morgan & Morgan. Number 1 injury law firm in all the world is Morgan & Morgan. With over $30 billion recovered. Folks, what makes Morgan & Morgan number 1 is the fact that they win cases. They win. Okay? I mean, thousands of attorneys from coast to coast helping American families out like you. All you have to do is just take the leap and do me a favor. Always know this. Morgan & Morgan doesn't get paid unless you win. Simple as that. Whatever your case is, they will look at that case and they will have the best attorneys on the planet defending you and your family. Go to forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. That's forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. And do me a favor. You tell them Big Sales sent you.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
The following is a presentation of JAKIB Sports.
If you're a small business owner or you work for a company that loves the birds, you need to react fast before we've used up our entire ticket allocation. And here's why. In celebration of JAKIB Media's new partnership with Savvy Seats, JAKIB Media will give you a pair of VIP tickets for any game on the 2025 schedule, home or away. And we'll give your company or your boss a 20-week media sponsorship package across the #1 digital network for Eagles coverage, JAKIB Sports. And that includes all of our game day coverage. Cost for your business or company? About $50 a week. Let's recap everything. 20-week sponsorship package on JAKIB Sports, including commercial spots, live reads, and liners. Inclusion in all of our game day coverage, including the soon-to-be-announced Green Zone, and a pair of tickets to the home opener or any game on the 2025 regular season schedule. Remember, that's home or away. If you're in Kansas City and you want to go to the game against the Chiefs, no problem. If you live in Florida and you want to go to the game in Tampa Bay at the end of September, no problem. Text Krause at 267-261-3428. That's 267-261-3428. And remember, do it quickly before this incredible gift is gone. JAKIB Sports and Savvy Seats put you right in the action with VIP seating as we are proud to announce our partnership for the 2025 season with Savvy Seats. Text Krause right now at 267-261-3428. That's 267-261-3428. And pick your game today. If you own a company and you're not producing a podcast, you're missing out. The public consumes messaging when they're ready. Join the professional podcast network of companies and let JAKIB Media Partners put you in the podcast arena. Come to our professional studio or we'll come to your place of business and professionally produce your company podcast. Call JAKIB Media right now at 267-261-3428. 267-261-3428.
EAGLES, Eagles.
Carson Wentz to Minnesota. Woo! Man, Carson Wentz will have the best wide receivers he's ever had in his career. He'll have Addison and Justin Jefferson to throw to. Woo! With that football team and Carson Wentz. J.J. McCarthy, why do you think they signed him? They signed him because they're not sure of J.J. McCarthy. Damn! Does Wentz have another shot at another ring? Minnesota with him. Damn! Let's see this here. Let's take a look here at Carson Wentz the last couple of years in his career. By the way, I thought he was great in Indianapolis. He had a great year. He was great in Jacksonville. Let's see here. Carson Wentz. He's played behind Mahomes, so no shame there. Let's see here. Carson, here we go. Pulling for him. So let's see the last couple of years here. So in Indianapolis, in 2021, Carson Wentz, 3,500 yards and 27 touchdowns and 7 picks. Sounds great to me. I'm good with that. 22, he was 2-5, 1755, 11 touchdowns, 9 picks. It's Washington. He backed up Stafford and he backed up Patrick Mahomes. No shame in that. And he's 32. I probably got about 2-3 years left of good football. Yeah. Can you believe this right now? How many touchdowns has he thrown for? This guy in his 9 years has thrown for 153 touchdowns and 67 picks. He's got 22,000 passing yards. And as an average, here's what he averages. If he plays 17 games, 27 TDs and 12 picks. That's okay. That's all right. I'd like to see him up there in Minnesota. I'd like to see what he would bring to the table. Oh, by the way, my boy Terry McLaurin. So now Jaden Daniels gets his boy back. That's going to be interesting to see how that pans out there. And so here's the problem that you have with that deal, though. The problem you have with that deal is, again, I mean, now you're ramping him up to get him ready for that opener against the Cowboys. It's Cowboys and I believe, if I'm not mistaken, am I right? Smitty's not better. Smitty's a 2. He's not a 1. McLaurin's better. Michael Irvin and every wide receiver I've ever asked takes McLaurin over Smitty. People in Philly, it's all right. I get it. You should take him. I mean, I'll go with the Hall of Famers. I'll tell you what we'll do. Let's get Andre Reed and all them on. Smitty is what? We'll see. Should be good. Should be good. By the way, don't forget tomorrow. Tomorrow at 3 o'clock, we are going to have the head football coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers on with us. We are going to have Todd Bowles on. I think Todd Bowles has done a hell of a job with that football team. I really do. I think he's done a hell of a job. He's taken over for Bruce Arians. And, you know, they've won 5 division titles. He's won a couple of them himself. And I totally think that the guy's going to be able to, like, again, I think he's really done a nice job. So, let's see here. I wish Wentz well, and now we wouldn't have the first Super Bowl without him. He did choke a playoff appearance away with the Colts. He did when he was there. They lost to the Raiders, and they lost to the Jags. His final 2 games when he was with the Colts, he lost those 2 games, and he lost the chances for them to go on to the playoffs. But I'll say this again to you, man. In 2017, when Wentz was playing, I'll make this point to you. I think Carson Wentz, I think he went 11-2. He got hurt in that Rams game at the Coliseum. I thought he was going to be the next Brett Favre, the way he played and his style of play. He was great. Then things just unraveled for him for whatever reason. Kim, Sills, all these retired players buying percentages of teams will change football landscape. I think it's a great thing. Get more people involved in the game. I'll tell you what. All right. So don't forget, Todd Bowles tomorrow, the head football coach of the Buccaneers, will be with us at 3 o'clock. And I believe we're getting Sean McVay on, I think, Thursday. And we'll be talking to the head football coach of the Rams. So we'll be doing that here too. All right. Oh, tomorrow also at 4:30, we're also going to have Angelo Cataldi. So you know what I like to do? It kind of like, you know, it's like a seesaw with me. I got Howard and I got Angelo. And it's to me, I'm the fool in the middle. So I'm good with this. You know, Angelo doesn't really like Nick. Howard loves Nick. Okay? So don't forget to check out his podcast. It's one of the best on the planet. If you ever want to be informed when it comes to Philadelphia sports or sports in general, you go to Howard Eskin. And we go to him right now. Our good friend joins us now here on a Monday, right before we get to cuts. How you doing, Howard?
Oh, I'm just great. How are you, Dan? And I'm telling you, just to tell you why I'm great, the power company here in my area, Pico, I've lost power, let me see, 3 times yesterday, twice today. I have a generator, but now it just screwed up my computer. So I'm doing this on my iPad because I always like to do it on the computer with you. Yeah. It's like such bullshit. You're at the mercy of the electric company. It's a joke. It's a joke. By the way, those 2 coaches you're going to have on, I sent them both text messages today just to wish them good luck.
Oh, fantastic. You know how I'll tell you how I met Sean. I met Sean through John Gruden, and he was a quality. His grandpa's John McVay.
Yes.
Okay, and so my uncle hired John McVay to be the head coach of the Giants at one time.
Okay.
And he was a terrible head coach. Everyone knows that. Okay, and then he went and he worked on that 49er dynasty back in the day with the Barlow, getting all those great players. They hired Bill Walsh. So when I was working in Tampa, Howard, this guy would be picking footballs up, and I go, "Who's that kid?" And they go, "That's Sean McVay. He's a quality control guy." John Gruden got him the job because check this out. Bruce Allen told me the story. He goes, so they initially, Stan Kroenke offered John Gruden the job to coach the Rams. He goes, "Look, I'm going to stay in the Monday Night Football booth." He goes, I'm not going to leave, but I have a guy for you that's on my brother's staff in Washington, and his name is Sean McVay. Sure enough, man, Kroenke interviewed him, and that's how he got the job. Gruden initially turned it down, and Bruce Allen and Jay Gruden and John Gruden recommended that he become the head coach. He's still the second youngest coach in the league, and he's got 5 division titles, an NFC championship, and a Super Bowl win. I mean, he's
very good coach. I met him at the owners' meetings because he came up to me. It had to be early. He's been 5 years with the Rams, so it was probably at least 4 years ago. And he walks up to me and he introduces himself. I said, "How do you know me?" And he says, "Don't worry about it. Everybody knows you." So now I have to do research. How the hell do you know me? He was in Washington with then the Redskins, and I was on the George Michael sports machine every week.
Oh,
and
God.
George was so big in Washington with the Redskins that obviously he watched the show on Sunday nights. And I never did confirm it with him. That's the only way he could have known who I was. Because
the George Michael sports machine, when I was a kid, was a must watch. I mean, that thing was like, wasn't that like before even like Sports Center? It
was the first network Sunday night sports show on television. Now, it wasn't on a network, although he worked out of the NBC studios.
But it was syndicated.
It was syndicated. That's correct. So that's how I got to know him. And then Todd Bowles was the head coach at Temple back in the 80s. He was the head coach at Temple, and that's where he got to know me and then got to know him a little. I didn't cover Temple that much, but I've stayed in touch with Todd over the years.
That's funny. Get this, too. So, like, I'm friends with Bruce Arians. I didn't know Bruce Arians had Temple ties.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I haven't talked to Bruce in a while. Every once in a while, I'll send him a text. But obviously, he's not going to coach again.
No.
But he's just is he living in Florida?
He's in Tampa. He's in Tampa now, and he's a consultant to the owner. And so, like, he'll come on my radio show in Tampa every now and then. And what he'll do is, like, I love Bruce Arians. I think he has one of the best coaching staffs. He's a diverse kind of coach. He's a guy that gives opportunities. He's just a tremendous person, man. I really have great respect for him.
Yeah, and so do I. So it's just it's amazing how many different coaches you've come across in different parts of their career, whether it was college or assistant coaches. I stayed in touch. Gruden's pissing me off a little bit. he told me he'd come on the podcast, and then he tapped in.
No, I'm going to tell you what happened, because he did it to me too a week ago, and I'll tell you why. It's the case thing. He doesn't want to have to answer that right now. He doesn't want to get into the thing
he's going to go to the limit on that.
Yeah,
he wants all those people deposed. I know.
Yeah.
But still, if you talk to him, tell him, he's off my list now. He's become a jerk because
that's right. He was in Philly too. I was in the building when
here. Yes.
Yeah, I was in the building when Al hired him. I worked for the Raiders. I was on the sidelines and I did pre and post for them. And I remember Al told me that they brought him in because he was the OC in Philadelphia for a bit. And they brought his ass in. Howard, it's funny. People always ask me, how do you know all these people? I go, I really don't know how. I just think it's because we've been in it. And, we get people's numbers and such. It's like, they come on the shows. Isn't it right? It's just after a while, you build a Rolodex up of people. And that's how, people go, how do you get all these guys on? I'm like, I don't really know. I think it's because I've been in it over 30 years. You've been in it obviously over 50 years. Yeah, so you know all that.
About 50. How about this? August 29th, which is, what is that, Saturday? August 29th? Okay. Will be the 39th anniversary. And I was in it longer because I was working radio before WIP. 39th anniversary of the first sports talk show at WIP, which I did, and I started afternoons at WIP.
Doesn't that piss you off that they didn't give you a chance like they did Berman to do 50 years, that you didn't get a chance to do the 40th year? Come on, Howard.
There's no heart and soul with management people. All they're trying to do is save their own ass anymore, and that's the problem. So it's just, and with that company, obviously they have a revenue problem. The business,
but they should bring you back for the 40th year and have you do a show.
It's just, hey, listen, if that's the way they're going to be, understand who they are. And I know who the bad guys are. I understand who they are. And if that's the way they want to be, that's petty. That's childish. I didn't do anything wrong, and they know it. But they had to save money, and they started with me. So whatever. But they should. Yeah, the 39th anniversary and the 40th anniversary. Hell, when I had the 35th anniversary, they didn't even want me to promote it on social media because they don't like this is how asinine some of those people are. They don't like their history because when they started, they were 610 WIP. Now they're 94 WIP. So they don't want to bring anything in about 610. Well, that's your history. That's the way you started. That's what it all evolved.
That's how I knew 610. I know 610. I have to read you something here.
Go ahead.
So this is from Merrill Reese last Friday. And I want to read you this. We were informed after 4 years. Dan, I've been told by WIP that they have an exclusivity clause in my contract that prohibits me from doing a podcast that aren't property of Odyssey. I've always enjoyed coming on your show with you, but they've been great to me, and I have to abide by their policy. They told me that I know that I've been on other shows before, and I've been on other podcasts before. I'm sorry to say that this is the first that I've seen this, where they have stopped me from going on your program. He had come on my show for 4 years. And because what he did was Jalen Hurts gave him cleats and he signed him. You're one of the only people. And get this, WIP and the Eagles didn't like that they shared that with our fans, Eagle fans. And so what they did was they barred him from coming on my program ever again.
Well, no, I don't want to diminish what he's not doing with you. But he was on with me, and it probably pissed him off. It probably pissed him off that he was on with me, I guess, a month or so ago, maybe 5 weeks ago. So it probably pissed him off. So that started the ball rolling. It's just, so when he does other things, they're trying to survive with their own podcasts. They're dead. It's sad because radio is where my beginnings came from and were great. And it's a reason I'm where I am today. And it's just so sad to see what's happening to radio, and especially what's happening to that company, It's disappointing and it's sad. And there's some people there. Eventually they'll lose their jobs too. But they're just trying to skate through and kiss as many cheeks as they can to kind of stay with the company and just get the money that they're getting until they're gone too.
What they don't understand is the more ass you kiss, the more likely you're going to be fired. That's what they don't understand.
I don't think they understand that because they keep on kissing both cheeks.
That's right. And when you do that, you can't see, Howard, you can't do a radio show any longer the way you want to do a radio show because they've narrowed the guardrails. I mean, they're like off ramps now. You can't really, like you and me were on a highway and we had all the road. We had a 4-lane highway to work. Now they give you a 1-lane highway. And when you do a 1-lane highway, it's impossible to do one of those shows any longer.
Yeah. It's just, hey, listen, that's the way they want to be. That's the way they want to be.
Hey, let me get into the Eagles here.
Yep.
So, I was told that this Eagle team had a loaded roster. Why is Howie making 17, 18 different moves?
Yeah.
He's made a move for a quarterback, wide receiver, a cornerback. Most likely there's going to be an edge after tomorrow when the cuts come down at 4:00 on Tuesday. I mean, you think they overestimated some of the back-end talent? I think they have a great 25, Howard. I think there's 25 really spectacular. But the difference is that there's 53 dudes on a roster. And they won a lot with depth a year ago. Do you think they overestimated the back end of that roster?
Well, I don't think they did because they never really said it. Hey, Nick Sirianni says less than, unfortunately, he's got a great personality, and I think he's a very good coach. He says less than nothing at his news conference. It's almost the other day, his news conference went 5 minutes because
I saw that.
Questions after the game. I mean, give me a break because he doesn't say anything. So they're not going to say it, but they kind of put it out there, and the media that covers him tries to make everything sound great because it helps. Hey, football in Philadelphia is going to be loved regardless of whether they're good.
It's a religion.
Different. Yeah. So, but they want to make it embellish it, make it sound more, so maybe they get more people to follow them. I don't know what the reason for it is. I don't think they said it, but when you win a Super Bowl, you lose a lot of players, and they've been in Super Bowls now, 2 of the last 3 years?
Yes.
So you're going to lose players because now players are going to get more money. It happens to everybody, and you got to find a way to keep it going. And they hope with the young players they've drafted that works out for them. But I don't think they said it, but they know they lost a lot of players. And then you have to worry about injuries, which they've had. And they're going to have those. They were lucky last year that they didn't have hardly any injuries.
But they had the depth, Howard. They had the depth. They had great. Isaiah was a great role. They had great role players last year. I don't know if they have that this year.
No,
You even brought that up to me last week when you said the depth. You thought you questioned the depth a little bit.
Yeah, well, I think then they got offensive linemen too. Our defensive line, they're making moves on the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, they got Fred Johnson back from Jacksonville.
Right. So, I always wonder when you get somebody for nothing, basically a 6th or 7th round pick, which they're traded like M&Ms are traded.
Right.
So when you get it for next to nothing, you say, why did he not cost you more if he's good enough to, at some point, you hope he's not a starter, but at some point be a starter. So the offensive line, they're good, I think, because Landon Dickerson, who knows how long he'll be out, but I don't see how he's going to play the first game.
You don't think he starts game 1 against Dallas then?
No. He's 340 pounds. You got to be careful.
Wow. Are you concerned about game 1 at all?
No, because Dallas sucks. Dallas always finds a way to lose. Yeah, Dallas finds a way to lose.
Hey, but wait a minute, Howard, you got to love this though. And so the guy's eating a burrito on the way in, and he's sleeping on the bench. You know, everyone gave a bunch of shit to AJ reading the book. This guy's sleeping on his back. He's on the sidelines there, and I'm going like, you want to know why there's no discipline on that team? Because everyone acts like the owner. I mean, that was such – I mean, Brian Schottenheimer's trying to build a culture. How do you build a culture when the guy's eating finger food, he's laying on the bench, and you're like, wait a minute here. Where are we going with this, man? I mean, Dallas has no discipline, and they never will.
Well, I think you're right, but you relax. The guy's not going to play during the game. So he's eating. You know, the coach would say, hey, listen, it's not a good look. The camera's always going to find you.
But he's pouting about his contract.
Who's that? Oh,
Michael Parsons is he's pouting about his contract.
How about the contract the owner offered him? And the
203. 203.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just, and there's a lot of it was guaranteed.
Yeah.
So the agent's the culprit here.
Yes.
And I'm going to make this prediction too. All right. You ready for this? Micah Parsons will play in game 1 against the Eagles.
Oh, my God. You think he runs out of the tunnel in week 1?
Right, because this is his home. Technically, he's from the area.
Yes, he is. He went to Penn State, too.
Yep. So he's going – I'm telling you, he's not going to miss the game here. That's just, again, hey, listen, I take shots based on, you know, a little bit of background. It's like when I told you Zach Wheeler a week ago, I said he was out for the season, and they're saying – hey, we'll know in a few days. Blood clot. He's out. He might not even start the beginning of next season.
What type of blow do you think that is to their shot at winning the World Series?
Well, I don't think they were going to win the World Series anyway, but you lose somebody. So the 3 men you kind of use that you have to use at the top of your rotation, you lose one of the best pitchers in baseball. So it hurts. I mean, Sanchez has done a good job, but then you go 2 and 3 aren't the same. So I don't think because, I mean, they scored, what's this, Monday? Yesterday, they scored 3 runs.
They're not going to beat the Padres or the Dodgers, in my opinion.
Nope, I don't think so either. It's just, they better hope the Padres win the division so they don't have to play them.
Yeah.
But I don't think they were going to win the World Series. I don't think they were going to get to the World Series. But now that really is.
Get to the NLCS?
Maybe. Yeah. Yeah, probably. They only have to win 1 series because if they win the division, they'll get a bye. So they only have to win 1 series to get to the NLCS.
Does Rob Thompson keep his gig?
If he doesn't get to the World Series, I think he's history. And I think he's fine. It's not the play. It's the analytics. It's the players. Bryce Harper gets 1 hit basically a game. He's hitting about 260. So, but I just don't like their lineup.
Wait a minute. I brought up, I can't remember. I brought it up with Bob Nightingale and I brought it up with Tim Kirchin. I said, listen, I'm taking this from Howard Eskin. Howard Eskin's talking about dealing Bryce Harper. And they go, oh, wait, what are you talking about? And I go, hang on here. Who said that? Tim Kirchin goes, well, what are you talking? The guy's been, I go, hang on here. I said, to Howard's point, though, Washington deals them. They win the World Series. I mean, you know, the guy's a really good player. Howard's not dismissing that. But what's he delivered? I mean, at the end of the day here, where are we going with this? I don't care how good a ball player you've got. Jeter's gauged on World Series. He's not better than A-Rod, but he's won 5 world championships. Yeah. That's why they look at him and he's in a different light compared to A-Rod. You got to win.
So Tim Kirchin didn't.
Oh, he hated it. He goes, no, I don't have. No. And I go, okay, so wait.
Everybody is in love with Bryce Harper. The media around the country is in love with because listen, Bryce Harper's a good player, but he's not the same player he used to be, and he does pander a lot to the media, and he knows which ones to pander to. It's like when they have a network game, somehow or another, he's always got the mic on during a half inning.
Who do you think is more important to the future of the Phillies? Kyle Schwarber next year or Bryce Harper?
Kyle Schwarber, because unfortunately they based their scoring on home runs, and Kyle Schwarber is a more feared hitter, I think, now than Bryce Harper. He's a more he stays on the ball a lot more. It's just I think he's feared more, but I don't know. See, they're going to have to pay Wheeler. I think Wheeler's got one more year after this, like $40 million.
Yep.
They got Aaron Nola for 6 more years after this. They have a lot of players. They have Trey Turner, Bryce Harper. It's going to be hard to sign Schwarber and keep the money reasonable on their payroll. So that's a real problem. And if some teams, there's going to be at least 2 teams that step up because they figure they need maybe 1 or 2 more pieces, and he could be good. And he's from Cincinnati. Cincinnati only needs maybe two more pieces, and they're a good team. They're a good team, and he in that little ballpark, he'd be a monster.
Absolutely. And I would say this to you: you had him in that Central Division. I think the Cubs are on. They're coming up too as well.
Yep.
I got to get 2 football.
Yeah.
Okay. Here. Carson Wentz to Minnesota. I don't really think JJ McCarthy is anything, so probably he gets a shot. Were you a fan of Wentz or not a fan of Wentz?
You know, it's kind of interesting. I texted him yesterday because I congratulated him on getting another job. And then he told me he's got another kid on the way. So that's his 4th child. So his wife's a really nice person. He was always good to me. Was I a fan? Without Carson Wentz, they don't get to Super Bowl 52.
That's right.
Then, of course, Nick Foles did what he did. He was the MVP that year.
Yeah.
I saw the game. He threw his last pass that year was
Rams.
with a torn ACL. It was 4th down on like the 2-yard line. He was fine with me, but something happened to him. I don't know. And I don't get into that. If I text a guy, I don't get into all the particulars and about why and where and what happened. Maybe the injuries were part of it. But he was always good to me, but there was some issues. He was.
Did Doug stop believing in him?
I guess there's times when he changed plays, but quarterbacks do that all the time. And Doug, when he changed the play to something it probably he shouldn't have changed it to. Yeah, because he just wasn't the same after he got injuries. He wasn't the same. He was certainly a fan of his that year. And then after that, things started to dissolve a little bit. But hey, listen, there's not enough starting quarterbacks. So in the NFL, to get a backup quarterback, if you get to the backup, you're in trouble anyway. All right. You need a guy to kind of manage the game, and you hope it's for maybe no more than 2 or 3 weeks. He's obviously a quarterback that has some skills, and maybe for 2 or 3 weeks. If that's the case, I don't think he could be the starter all year. But I guess they looked around and they said, well, maybe he's the best available. So who the hell knows? I don't even know who the backup is in Kansas City. They just cut a quarterback today.
Yeah. I think it's a good move for him. I got a last question for you here. The biggest threat to the Eagles, in your opinion, is it Washington or Los Angeles?
Or Detroit.
Right on. Or Detroit.
Yeah. And they play the Rams and the Detroit Lions in Philadelphia, so they get a break there.
Yeah.
I think it's both those teams. I over Washington. Now, to win the division, Washington would be the team, but somehow I think this is crazy. I think the Giants are better than the Cowboys, as sick as that is.
No, I don't think. I think what they're doing, I think that kid, Jackson Dart, it's coming on.
Yeah.
Okay, I do.
When a team is 3-0 coming out of the preseason, which you say, who cares about the preseason? You usually get a good start to the season. If they get a good start, I don't know what their first game is. If they get a good start, who knows? They might think they're good. Denver got a good start, and they got a great coach in Sean Payton. So they were 3-0 in the preseason. So who knows? And I like Bo Nix. I like their quarterback.
I like, and their defense, I think, is going to be one of the top 5 defenses. Howard, tell folks where they can get you. Up against the time here. Tell the folks where they can find you in your great show.
Okay.
Love it, man.
Wednesday nights live at 7:30 Eastern time, live, and of course it lives on all the social media platforms. And then Saturday morning at 8 Eastern time, and then Wednesday, and he just confirmed that he was good. Mark Sanchez, who I got to know a little bit, obviously when he was here, and I've stayed in touch with him over the years, because now he's working for Fox, so he gets to, has to study all the teams. So Sanchez is going to be on with me Wednesday night at 7:30.
I'll be watching. I definitely will. Howard, it's so kind of you.
Tell Angelo.
I'm gonna take a picture. I know you're kidding. Listen, I'm gonna take a picture of that and show this is what
Tell him Sirianni's a good coach.
I know you. Hey, I know you love that guy. Listen, let's do this again real soon, man. I love you, man. Thank you so much, my friend.
Anytime. All right,
you got it. That is Howard
Eskin.
Eskin. I won't do that to him. I can't now. He didn't want me to do it, so I'm not gonna. Hey, he gave you the 2-gun salute. Absolutely awesome. Don't forget, folks, our good friends at Morgan & Morgan, where they have recovered over $30 billion for their clients with the number one injury law firm in all of the world, Morgan & Morgan. Folks, they are the number one injury law firm for a reason. That's because they win. Do me a favor. Go online to forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. It's forthepeople.com/big sales or pound law 529. And do me a favor. You tell them Big Sales sent you.
This is Eric. When he got injured in a car accident, he called Morgan & Morgan. He not only gets a lawyer, he gets trial lawyers like Sam and Jessica, who are in it to win it. He gets his own investigators with briefcases, leather ones. And if you ever have questions, our customer service folks keep things rolling. Injured? We're your army. Morgan & Morgan, America's largest injury law firm.
The following is a presentation of JAKIB Sports.
If you're a small business owner or you work for a company that loves the birds, you need to react fast before we've used up our entire ticket allocation. And here's why. In celebration of JAKIB Media's new partnership with Savvy Seats, JAKIB Media will give you a pair of VIP tickets for any game on the 2025 schedule, home or away. And we'll give your company or your boss a 20-week media sponsorship package across the number one digital network for Eagles coverage, JAKIB Sports. And that includes all of our game day coverage. Cost for your business or company? About $50 a week. Let's recap everything. 20-week sponsorship package on JAKIB Sports, including commercial spots, live reads, and liners. Inclusion in all of our game day coverage, including the soon-to-be-announced Green Zone, and a pair of tickets to the home opener or any game on the 2025 regular season schedule. Remember, that's home or away. If you're in Kansas City and you want to go to the game against the Chiefs, no problem. If you live in Florida and you want to go to the game in Tampa Bay at the end of September, no problem. Text Krause at 267-261-3428. That's 267-261-3428. And remember, do it quickly before this incredible gift is gone. JAKIB Sports and Savvy Seats put you right in the action with VIP seating, as we are proud to announce our partnership for the 2025 season with Savvy Seats. Text Krause right now at 267-261-3428. That's 267-261-3428. And pick your game today. If you own a company and you're not producing a podcast, you're missing out. The public consumes messaging when they're ready. Join the professional podcast network of companies and let JAKIB Media Partners put you in the podcast arena. Come to our professional studio, or we'll come to your place of business and professionally produce your company podcast. Call JAKIB Media right now at 267-261-3428. 267-261-3428.
EAGLES, Eagles.
Wow. Bucks are going to cut Kyle Trask. That dude was a second-round pick, I believe. So I I'm getting news that they're going to cut him. Wow. So tomorrow, that's why they signed Teddy Bridgewater. They just were never happy with him, I don't think. That's a miss big time. Dude, Jalen Hurts was a second-round pick. And Trask, I think they won the Super Bowl. So he was a low 30s, I think. Oh, no, he was a second-round pick, so he was down there in the second round. Wow. I kept saying this the whole time. I kept doing it. I kept saying, hey, man, this guy does not deserve to be on that team. Dude, Texas boy, you know, in the road, he could do all his talking now until they get their ass whipping come September 4th. He can get his ass whooping until the 4th, right? So tomorrow, 4:30, we are going to have Angelo Cataldi. At 3 o'clock, we are going to have Todd Bowles, the head football coach of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers tomorrow. So, guys, I appreciate you very much. Thank you again. 2 to 6 tomorrow, and we'll see you on the flip side.